Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 113 of the Clockwork Cantina. I'm one of your hosts, Josh902, and it's the other host of this show.
And I'm DT3. How we doing, everybody? Hello.
Howdy, friends. Um, Today's main topic is Deadwood, which we have watched over the course of, I've
Yeah.
watched over the course of a few weeks. McDaniel's watched most of his fairly recently. So he's probably gonna have
Yeah.
a better recollection of the earlier seasons than I'm going to. Um, but what's funny is we'll get into it in the second half of the show. That'll be the main topic for the second
Yeah.
half of the show. Um, we got news and stuff to go through for like the regular part of the show, and the reason we didn't have a show on Monday, we're doing it on Tuesday. I was sick yesterday, so I don't know about you guys, but whenever we get to like a changing of the seasons and the weather kind of can't make up its mind on if it wants to be cold or hot, like I always end up getting like a little sick. It's weird. And for like a couple days and then it's like over with. I guess it's like allergies or something, especially when we go from like thank you Jake for the sub. Especially when we go from like cold to warm. Like my allergies will get fucked up and it'll make me end up making me sick for a few days. It's like it sucks, dude. Um,
Mm.
so it was like Sunday night, and I got halfway through the Deadwood movie, and I was like, I don't feel good at all. I feel pretty bad. Uh,
Yeah.
so I went to bed early and all that. Um, but yeah, we got some news, we got some gaming news, we got a little bit of TV and movie news, so we'll be getting through that. Most of
A
this
little bit, a
episode will
little bit.
probably be on the old Deadwood, I believe, will come out in the second half.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, we can talk about what we've been up to the past week, like we always do. Daniel, do you want to go first and tell us what you've been up to this past week, man? What you've been playing, watching, that kind of stuff?
So this past week, um, been playing some games, been watching some shows. Well, the majority of what I've been up to is watching Deadwood, but like
Mm-hmm.
apart from that, since that's our big topic today. Apart from that, I've watched some stuff. I watched the first episode of the Halo show. That was interesting. I'm curious to see how the rest of the season goes. Uh, watched Blazing Saddles, the movie. Uh,
I haven't seen that in a
I
long
played.
time.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like watching it, like more recently.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I played. I started and completed Terminator Resistance on stream, and then I started playing Batman Arkham Origins. So that's the current game right now that I'm trying to get through before Lego Star Wars comes out next week,
Oh man, I
which
can't wait.
literally in a week from today. I'm so excited, man. That game looks so fucking good. Yeah, I'm trying to get through Batman Arkham Origins before then. I got a week left, and then been playing a little bit more Apex. Uh, played a little bit of Lost Ark. I was given a key for this game called Expedition Zero, which is like they described it as like a survival horror adventure type thing, single player dealio.
Mm.
Uh, it was all right.
You're gonna
I
be
feel
like,
like
it
that.
was dog shit.
No, it's all right. It kind of annoyed me because like at one point I was like stuck in a like when the game like auto saves and you kind of get stuck in a
In
loop
a loop, yeah.
and I had like low health. The weather was killing me and I couldn't get out of it. So I loaded a previous save, but it was so far back that I was just like, I don't want to do this no more, man. And then when I was like, oh well, let me keep trying on my current save file. I went back and guess what? It overrode my save file. So I was like, fuck this,
Oh
dude. I'm
my
done.
god.
I'm done trying this, man. So that was not good.
That's some
Uh,
that
I
is
mean,
some dog shit, even though you're not like
so
that
yeah,
is.
so that annoyed the shit out of me, and I immediately stopped playing. But I mean, the game itself is fine. I think I would have more fun playing that game if it was like multiplayer instead of just single player. Because
Mhm.
I usually tend to have more fun playing survival games when they're multiplayer than by myself. But anyway, Watch more episodes of Attack on Titan. Caught up on that a little bit. Still not fully caught up, but I'm only a few episodes away from being caught up now. And then I finished all of our Flag Means Death season one. Pretty solid. Pretty good HBO Max show. If you got HBO Max and you're into pirates, I'd recommend that. It has Taika Waititi and Reese Darby. So got some funnies in there. Definitely check it out if you guys got the chance. But yeah, and then finally, after who knows how much time, finally got to play D&D again, man. We got
We
to play some
did.
West Marches. That was fun, man. Because I can't remember. I literally cannot tell you the last time I played D&D before. The Saturday, or was it Saturday that we played? Yeah, before last Saturday, I couldn't tell you when the last time I played D&D
I want
was,
to
man.
say it's been like a
It
year
was
and a
whenever
half.
we're Yeah, it was whenever we did Frozen Decimation last was the last time I played before Saturday. So I don't know how
Yeah.
long, man. It's been too.
I
All I
think
know
it's
is that
been
it
like
was
a
too
year and a
long.
half. Something like that. It's been at least a year. I know that.
Yeah.
And more. Uh, since we played
So
like
it was
actual
fun.
D&D.
Yeah, so it was fun getting into it again. Creating a new character and coming up with a little bit of backstory and rolling for stats and all the shit that you do when you're coming up with a D&D character. So that was fun, man, and it was fun playing again too. I had fun. I hope everybody else had fun on Saturday as well because that was cool, man. It'd been a long time, so it was fun to get back into it. That's pretty
Yeah.
much been my week. Uh,
Cool.
yeah,
I so I've been up to a few things. I've watched a few movies or watched a movie, I should say, and seen a few shows. I also watched the Halo TV series with everybody. Um, I think the first episode's okay. I'm not in love with the show, but I'm gonna give it a chance and check out probably the next couple episodes and see where it goes. I don't hate it by any means. There's definitely some things I'll watch and I just hate. Uh, but it's definitely different, and it really is like Halo and Mass Effect had a baby. It's weird, like because I feel like the story that they're kind of
yeah,
going with feels kind of Mass Effecty a little bit to me.
a little bit, yeah,
I
yeah, I
didn't
could
really
see that.
think about it until like a few days after we had watched it that Master Chief, and I'm just gonna spoil a little bit of the episode, is like he finds like an artifact, touches it, and has a vision. That's straight out of Mass Effect,
Yeah,
and like
that straight up reminded me of it for sure. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
and what I found funny was like the creators are like, yeah, we didn't look at the game or play the game or anything like that, and I thought, well, they must have played Mass Effect because they sure did put that shit in here, you know.
Facts. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
it was a little weird. But I didn't even realize it till after we had like been a couple days, and I think when I was watching it, so I watched the episode twice. I watched it with the group, and then I had a couple other friends that wanted to watch it, so we got the group and watched it again, and that's when I was kind of like, they mentioned Commander Shepard in the show, like they mentioned like just in passing, like as a reference to him,
Yeah.
and they also mentioned, which I didn't catch the first time, like the Skillian something. The Skillian Blitz in Mass Effect is a thing that happens if you pick the war hero background for Shepard. It's one of the events that kind of defines that character.
Mm.
And in the background, they're like the Skillian. I can't remember the exact thing, but they mention it in there, and I was like, "That's two Mass Effect references." These guys wanted to do a Mass Effect show, but they got stuck with Halo. Apparently, seems like a little weird. Just something I noticed and thought I'd comment on. Um, I watched the first episode of Winning Time: The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. Have you watched this at all, Daniel? It's on HBO Max. Um,
I No, I plan on watching it, but to be honest, I had to catch up on Deadwood
that's fair.
before this episode, so I didn't. I was like, yo, I gotta get through Deadwood, so I haven't started yet, but I will.
I I like it, even
What'd you
though
think
I'm
though?
not. I like it, even though I'm not like a big basketball or Lakers. I can't say Lakers fan because I've never really watched them, but I've never watched basketball stuff. But I watched that first episode and it. What did it remind me of? It reminded me of something. I can't think of what it reminded me of, but it's pretty funny and it's like I'm sure you know the history of the Lakers way better than I will. So, but like I guess it's kind of telling like the start of when they became uh a
Yeah, so
great
that's
team
around
or
the
famous.
Showtime era.
Yeah.
Around the
Um.
'80s Showtime era, the Magic and those
Mhm.
teams, the '80s Showtime era teams. Yeah.
uh. But I definitely like it. I'm gonna watch more of it. I think there's a few episodes out, but I've only watched the first one because I got so D&D happened and I got really busy with that. Um, but I like it so far with the first episode that I've seen, and I want to watch more. Um, so even if you're not a
Nice.
basketball fan and don't know shit about it or the Lakers, which is me, give it a chance if you have HBO Max because I was actually enjoying it. Um,
Cool.
Next up, I watched American Underdog. I don't know if you've seen this movie. It's about it's got Zachary Levi and Anna Paquin in it, and they're kind of like the main two in the movie. It's about Kurt Warner, who was a who became an NFL MVP, Super Bowl champion, Hall of Fame quarterback. It's kind of like it's very
I've
much
heard of it,
like
but I haven't seen it.
it's so I like the movie. But when you look at it, it kind of makes you think of those Disney era feel good sports movies, and that's kind of what this is. It's a feel good like
Gotcha.
sports movie, and it doesn't have a lot of football in it. I mean, it's in there. Obviously, it's a presence, but it's mostly about Zachary Levi and Anna Paquin, um, who plays, Zachary Levi's playing Kurt Warner, and Anna Paquin plays his future wife, Brenda. Um, I like the movie. My issue with it is that Zachary Levi and Anna Paquin are. This is gonna sound bad. Uh, They're, they're I feel like they're a little too old to be playing the roles in the time period that they're supposed to be set. So when I look at it, all I can think of is like, I know he's supposed to be like in college, but that's Shazam right there. Like it's weird. Um. Uh. But if you can kind of get over that a little bit, it's worth watching. I just picked it up because it was on sale cheap, and I like sports movies. Like I watch a lot of them.
Yeah.
Especially I usually watch like the boxing movies, things like uh, Rocky or Cinderella Man or those types of movies. Um, but it's worth a watch if you can get it cheap. Uh, it seems to be like it did
Gotcha.
well, had good positive reviews. Uh, and every time I see Zachary Levi, and this is not meant to be a slight on him, he's a big guy, but I don't know what I feel like they put him in shirt sizes that are like too small, so he always looks super jacked. And I'm just like, I don't know if he's actually super jacked or if his clothes are too tight. Like it's weird. um, um, but the
Yeah.
movie's pretty good. Give it a chance if you are into sports movies and football and that kind of thing. But that movie is definitely kind of like all the adversity they have to overcome, which is a lot. Like it is kind of like a lot. Um, I didn't even realize his wife Brenda, she was like a fucking Marine. Like she was like a United States Marine, dude.
Oh damn.
Uh, at one point, so that's pretty cool. Um, we played D&D, which we talked about a little bit earlier. God, it was so good to get in there and kind of play and be comfortable after
Yeah.
so long doing it. Um, it was like putting on those. Some people have those beat up pair of jeans that they just won't throw away because they're so goddamn comfortable. That's what it's like playing D&D right now. It's like I'm wearing these goddamn jeans and fuck, they're comfortable. You know, I uh, I prepped everything, and the timing I feel like was mostly perfect when I prepped the adventure for you guys. Other than if people didn't have to get used to Foundry in the opening like we did, the timing would have been perfect for the end of that adventure, which we kind of had to speed up a little bit at the end. But for the most part, I think we all had fun. I haven't gotten any negative feedback on it, which I obviously I want to hear like all the feedback, good or bad, about what was fun about it, so I can do more of that and that kind of stuff when we play D&D. I'm kind of weird like that, like because I want everybody to have a good time, and that's what's important to me when we play D&D. It's like my number one rule. Um, but yeah, we played that again. Man, it was fun to get back in and be comfortable. Um, and then I played a smidge, just a smidge of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands last night. Uh, I'd slept most of yesterday and kind of got up late in the evening because I couldn't lay in bed anymore. It was uncomfortable to lay in bed for that long. Um, and I made a purchase of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands to check it out, see how it is, because we've been playing D&D, and that's kind of what that game is, except Borderlands to D&D with Tiny Tina. And I liked it. I'm playing like the necromancer character that I can't Deathbringer or something. I can't remember what it's called in the Borderlands game, but something like that. But I've already chuckled at a few of the jokes, and I'm sure we'll probably be seeing more of that on the channel if I stream when I'm feeling better
Yeah,
of Tiny Tina's. But that's kind of like all
nice.
I've been up to. A lot of it, it's not in the notes, but a lot of it was D&D prep the last week. Mostly, like I'm trying to get everything set up. I'm trying to just get used to prepping again, and just I don't know how to describe it because I'm sure Daniel is the same. Like when he if he when he thinks about Star Wars or something, and like you start running through all these scenarios in your head of like, here's a storyline I would do, right, if I was doing Star Wars. I do the same
Mm,
thing with Star Wars, but
yeah.
also with like D&D, right? Like the ruins, for example, are the Scarlet Vein ruins that you guys explored in that D&D one shot that we did, and I was like, I know exactly what the Scarlet Vein is. But you guys don't. But I know exactly what it is in my head about exactly what that group is, what they do, what their goals are, and that kind of thing, or were, if they still exist in the world. Uh, and it's like when I start doing that, it takes me so long to prep because I go down rabbit holes and I plot out way too much in advance of this cool shit that my players will eventually discover. Uh, so that's what most of my time is the D&D like world building stuff. Which I think we have an episode of coming up one day in the future for Cantina again. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I've
of
been up
course.
to.
We'll do those every once in a while.
That's what I've been up to the past week. Daniel, if you want to go ahead and head into the gaming news. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit. Uh,
No,
so
you're
go
good.
ahead
Yeah,
and
yeah.
take us
Let's head on
away.
in over to the. All right. So, first thing we got here is that we have a Sea of Thieves update, uh, which was the Forts of the Forgotten Adventure. I believe it is out now, and they actually have a little bit of a trailer here to go on with it. It started on the 24th, which was last Thursday, but it's still running until April 7th. Uh,
Oh shit! Hang on a
and yeah,
second, guys.
they got a little trailer here if you want to throw it up.
Yeah, hang on. I gotta turn off hardware acceleration.
Mm.
I had it on for D&D, and I can't capture my browser while it's on.
Yeah.
So let me just refresh all my browsers. I hope this doesn't fuck up the. It shouldn't fuck up the. It might fuck up the thing. Yeah, it fucked up my camera. That's fine. We can fix that. Chrome also decided to do an update, apparently.
Nice.
Uh,
Uh,
give me
but
2
the
seconds,
servant of
guys.
the flame wants something from the pirates held captive. Uh, there's a masked stranger who is in cahoots with the servant of the flame, possibly. Um, but yeah, I actually haven't tried this out yet. I haven't played Sea of Thieves in a little bit. Like I said, though, just been busy doing other things. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe I'll be able to try this out soon. But haven't been able to try it out just yet.
Oh, this is awesome. This sucks. I rejoined the room, but I can't get my camera. Fuck.
Mm.
Give me 2 seconds.
All right.
There's gotta be a way to do this. Uh, how do I rejoin as a director? Shit. That's not right. I'm sorry, guys. This is my bad. I should have thought ahead. Uh,
Does it not let you join as
no,
a director again?
it won't for some reason. I'm just trying to capture my video. I could probably turn on my camera and actually. Daniel, if you're okay for a second, can I just remake the room and I'll pause the recording and
I
then we'll restart the
I was
recording.
gonna say yeah, you can just remake the room.
Wait,
Yeah. Yeah.
wait, hang on. I got it. I got it. We don't have to do that.
Oh
Hang on. I got it.
oh oh
I
oh.
think. I believe.
Cross is averted.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Here we go. We should have it. We should be getting there. I gotta turn my camera back on. Oh, there's a third me. What the fuck is going on right now?
Whoa 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 whoa.
Okay, there we go. 2 seconds. And we're fixed right now. I think. Yeah. Hi. We're
There we
fixed.
go. There
Sorry,
you go.
guys.
Cross is averted. Cleared it out.
We did
Nice.
it. My bad. Let me put that video back on for you guys.
All right.
Okay. Sorry. But that's a new one even for me, so uh we're always breaking barriers here on. Oh wow, it's still it's still not showing the video. What the hell?
I don't know. Well, how long do we need to hold them here?
Oh, I know why. Hang on. There we go. I got it.
I don't know.
There it is.
So, why are we holding them? Listen, we are
So,
officers
Sea
of
of
the
Thieves,
Spanish
Forts of the
Fleet.
Forgotten.
We
There you
do
go.
what Flameheart demands. That was the deal. You know that.
I'm a professional, guys. I promise.
The giant head in the sky? Not anymore, he's not. And besides, you know what would happen if we were to disobey. There are many different ways to put someone in a cage. You should just keep going.
Oh, that dude looks cool.
Sir.
This one. Bring her.
Giant head in the sky.
Those guys are wearing masks like the assassin from the Matrix Online. Cool. Okay.
There you go. Well, that's the Sea of Thieves little adventure going on right now until the 7th. Um, all right. Moving on from that, we have you know how a while back we were talking about there was a Ghostbusters game in development that hadn't been announced yet because Ernie Hudson was doing some voiceover for it or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I
Well,
remember.
Here it is. It's officially been announced. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed is the name of the game. And we have an announcement trailer right here. So 3, 2, 1, play.
I have not watched this trailer yet.
But between that, we provided a needed service to the masses. That's where you come in. We're passing the torch, or better yet, passing the particle thrower, giving you the tools. Now let's see if you have the talent. Keep your head up.
The MCA.
Limit charge.
Who are you gonna call?
You're
The lawyers.
We're a team working together to watch each other.
That's funny, man.
Now, I know you're still a ghost-busting trainee, but there's much more here than meets the eye. Take a look at this. You have the chance to see firsthand what exists on the other side. Catching ghosts is only the half of it.
You want to play as a ghost?
This is a pretty good trailer.
I'd like to see you try to take on my team.
You go, man. You want to go hunt some ghosts or what?
Let's do it.
Or bust some goats, I should say.
It definitely uses the song to great effect. I'll give it that. Like,
Yeah.
they edited that together with the song really well and made you kind of want to play. So that was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool little trailer.
Yeah, so that looks pretty neat. It's coming from Ilphonic. So I'll probably end up checking that game out at some point, you know. Ilphonic, for those of you who are unaware, are the people that made Predator Hunting Grounds, Friday the 13th game. So it's that style of game where it's like you have like a group of people, let's say a group of 4 people going up against, you know, one person, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's those style of games. But that looks cool, man, you know.
We got mad hooked on Predator there for a little while.
Yeah.
So I imagine we'll all be playing this probably again. I love Ghostbusters. I love playing games with my friends. These guys kind of give me what I want with it. So,
Yeah.
what's next, Daniel?
Next up, we have a pretty cool little demo here. This is called Enemies, and it's a real-time cinematic trailer for the Unity team over here. For, you know, high-end visuals in 2022. So let's go ahead and check this out, and then I can read a little bit of on it
Mm-hmm.
afterwards. So yeah, if you're ready, we can go ahead and check this out.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go.
I saw this, but I haven't watched it. I saw it got when they put it up.
Yeah. It's pretty good, man, I have to say.
Mm. I don't know why, but my brain went Dishonored, seeing the room move around for some reason.
Yeah, I could see that.
I have in my head everything that anyone has ever known. You have in your heart everything anyone has ever felt.
This lady's a Benny Gesserit.
Power is given only to those who dare to lower themselves and pick it up.
It's on fire. Real, man,
Enemies.
enemies.
That's pretty cool little short of a demo. I always love when they do like the little tech demos
So
for
if you,
things.
yeah, there's another link on the side here, Josh.
Oh, okay.
It has a little tech demo info right here.
I got you. Let me open that.
So, raising the bar on Unity's visual quality, Enemies showcases the power and capabilities of the Unity platform for creating high-end, visually compelling content, making it possible for any creative team to fully realize its vision. Our real-time 3D RT3D technology is constantly evolving to meet the ever-growing expectations creators have for visual quality and realism. Enemies expands on the work done for the Heretic, which featured Unity's first realistic digital human. Improvements include a better 4D pipeline, skin attachment system on the GPU to allow for high density meshes. An example, Peach Fuzz. More realistic eyes with caustics on the iris, new skin shader, and tension tech for blood flow simulation and wrinkle maps, eliminating the need for a facial rig for fine details.
Hmm.
I mean, I thought it looked pretty good. Like even the way like when she was
Mm-hmm.
talking and like the way her mouth was moving and stuff. Because usually like I feel like in games like when they try to have stuff look like that, like you can tell like the mouth and the words are not like syncing up properly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like in this, I was like, I had looks good to me, man. Like uh, yeah. So what are your thoughts on it, Josh? I know you're kind of speaking on it
I think
after it ended.
I think um I think this and Unreal Engine 5 are like the crazy future that's getting here and making like that lady look real, man. Like you know what I mean? Like it's a little it creeps me out a little bit because of how real it looks in ways, and I know it's like obviously it's based on a face, but that is a real person, but like it's so I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, but it's cool. It looks great. Uh
Yeah.
uh but my brain knows it's like this is a digital thing. But my brain also knows like this is a real person, so it's like fighting with itself to be like
Yeah.
a little. It's just cool, you know. Like I can't wait to see what people do with this kind of tech, and it's why I like the tech demos and like. There's obviously limitations when you're doing something that's like, all right, we got a fixed camera position, we have all this planned out. Then when it's like in a video game, but this is great for like cutscenes and stuff, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see like what people do with it. Like I would watch mini movies that were like this. You know what I mean? Like or little
Yeah. Yeah.
short
Yeah.
limited like series and stuff like that
I agree. I agree. Like
as well.
this, like we were just saying. This, I mean, this looks great, man. Like
Mm,
as I'm like scrolling through the page, I just see the thumbnail for the video, and I'm like, man, that almost looks like a real person, you know?
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it looks really really good. They
it's
also
pretty
have this
cool.
strand-based real-time hair solution for the protagonist's highly realistic looks. The demo team and Unity's R&D team collaborated on an all-new hair solution for authoring, importing, simulating, and rendering strand-based hair. It works with any authoring tools that output data in Alm- Alembic format. And enemies, the team used Maya XGen and is validating the pipeline with Weta Barbership. But yeah, I mean, I just scrolling through it, I'm like, man, thumbnail looks so real and like
Whenever somebody talks about hair and like digital hair, all I think is Merida from Brave. because like they had to go in and animate each strand of that, and I'm just like, that's so much work. Imagine if you had
Yeah,
an
man.
engine like this that kind of did it for you. You know what I mean? Like, which I'm sure it's still a lot of work, but probably easier. Um, I'd imagine getting hair right in video games or in the digital medium is so fucking hard. Like, because it just goes everywhere and can clip through shit and look strange.
Yeah.
Like, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I just thought we would show that a little bit because
Yeah,
it's like you said, future man looks
I
great.
like I like looking at the tech demos that they do for stuff. Like, you get a glimpse of the future. Like, you really do. Like, kind of like when they showed off. I think it was the Unreal Engine, and then they came up with like a game for that demo a little while later. That's kind of based on it a little bit. Guys, my brain is mush after the past couple days. So if I sound stoned or like Josh is out of his mind right now, I mean I'm probably out of my mind, but like it's not on purpose. I promise. It's just I'm just kind of rambling at the moment, but it's cool to check out tech demos. It's fun. What do we
Oh yeah.
got next?
Next up, we have
Oh
some
yeah,
information of Sons of the Forest and how it was delayed. Uh, Night Games put out a tweet talking about how their 2020 May 2022 release date uh, for the Sons of the Forest was overly ambitious, and they'll be able to deliver their vision of the next step in survival games uh, as they move it to October
yeah.
of this year. So it's still coming out this year. It's just gotta wait more time, which is fine. I think
I
it's
want
fine.
I want to call out the guy in these tweets so bad down here, but I think I'm just gonna block him instead. Um, I think that you and I are on the same page, and we've said it so many times that we're okay with delays. There's a dude in the comments that's bitching about delays. Guy in the comments that's bitching about delays, go fuck yourself. Okay, I'd rather have a good product. So take your opinion and shove them up your ass. Okay, quit being an asshole to the devs in the comments. Grow the fuck up. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we are fine with delays here. We like to play
Oh yeah.
games that are good and are complete and don't have a bunch of bugs and just horrible weirdness. And it is a trying time the last few years for things. Has not exactly been easy for a lot of people, including game developers. So the world would be a better place if you stopped being jerkwads in the comments about it. Just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, fine with a delay. Fits more in October anyway. We'll be having fun come Halloween. I imagine there'll be a Phasmo update around that time. We'll be watching Halloween movies again. October is like, it's going to be fun. It's always fun every year. But yeah, Sons of the Forest delayed, I guess. What do we have next, Daniel, now that my rant's over?
Next up, we have a little. This isn't necessarily gaming news, but it pertains to a video game, and that is that over at the Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland and
Yeah.
Disney World,
I saw this.
they have released Cal Kestis's lightsaber at the Doc Ondar's den of antiquities. So if you want to go buy your lightsaber, you can either make your own or you can buy one of the legacy sabers. Which legacy sabers, all that means is just you can get Luke's lightsaber, you can get Ahsoka's, whoever, like an existing character in the universe, as opposed to making your own. So Cal Kestis's lightsaber has been added to that, and
That's pretty
looks good,
cool.
man. I think it looks badass, right? Look at it.
I'd love to have one.
And then at the end, you see Cameron Monaghan holding it. So it's like Cal in live action. It looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the lightsaber looks cool, man.
I would watch a little live action with Cal. Just do a little
Yeah,
mini
it
series
does,
or
man.
something. Be cool.
would be pretty dope. I wonder if they actually have any plans on including him in anything. But then again, I was wondering the same thing about Janina Gavankar and Aiden Versio, from Battlefront 2. They
Mm,
haven't really put her in anything. Even though like the current timeline we are in right now with the Mandalorian and stuff would be perfect because she kind of fits in that timeline. And they haven't put her in any of that, so I don't know.
maybe we'll get something eventually. They, I know they like the character of Cal Kestis because we're getting a sequel to Fallen Order, right? So that means we're gonna get more
Yeah.
Cal.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and Monacan seems to really like the character as well. So like, I imagine he's probably like, put me in more, let me do more, you know.
Put me in, coach.
Put me in, coach. Look, you saw Fallen Order did well, you know. It's not my fault. The EA did Battlefront for so long. Okay, I should have done Fallen Order earlier. Come on, put me in. No, I'm kidding. But like, we're definitely getting a sequel, and Cal Kestis is a cool character. So I'd watch a fucking little live action with Cal. What do
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got?
I know a lot of us would want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing we got here is The Wolf Among Us 2 episode 1 will catch you up to speed if you didn't play the first game. So if you haven't played the first game, don't worry. Although I personally strongly recommend playing through the first game. But
Yeah.
don't if you don't, the episode 1 will catch you up. So they Telltale CEO Jamie Ottley, I believe is how you say that, said that the episode will get players up to speed on the characters. Uh, in talking to IGN, or it was reported by IGN. I'm sorry. Uh, Ottley said, "We strive to design our narratives so they can stand on their own," citing that despite that, he hopes players jump into the first game to experience it beforehand or before the second, which is what I'm saying. Yeah, like definitely play the first season if you haven't.
Mm-hmm.
However, if players don't, they'll still be prepared for the sequel by the end of its first episode because Ottley thinks the opening of the first episode sets things up in such a way that the player understands how the characters got where they are now. So yeah, the second game comes out next year, so you got plenty of time to catch up in the meantime. As for me personally, I have played the first game several times because it's my favorite Telltale game. But what I need to catch up on is the comics, the Fables comics. That's what I want to. I have that as a personal goal is to catch up on those comics before season 2 comes out. So that's just the
Well,
thing for me that I'm like, I need to
in the
do that.
future on Cantina, guys, we're going to dive into some comics too. So maybe Fables would be one of those things that we talk about in the future. Um,
Mm,
I was going to ask you, Daniel, since you have played the first season a little bit, you have completed it several times rather.
yeah,
Um, when it ends, does it end on like a cliffhanger, or does it wrap up that whole first season pretty well? And that's kind of what I'm curious about because if they're like they're
yeah,
saying they are saying you'll be caught up first if in the first episode of season 2 or the game 2, whatever you call it.
yeah.
Um,
Season 2, episode 1 is what it is. Yeah.
got it.
So yeah, at the end of that first season, there's some stuff that happens, and you're like, wait a minute, what? And then
Mm,
obviously, like it, So here's the thing: the first game came out in 2013. The part 2 is gonna come out next year, so it's 10. It's been 10 years, right?
God, it feels like just yesterday.
I know it does, right? Because like part of me is like, yo, 2013 does feel like forever ago, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I remember 2013 a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but it has been 10 years, man, but it's gonna be 10 years, which is crazy to think about, but it's true. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited because yeah, there's some stuff. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's something that happens at the end of that first season that they're like, whoa, we're ending it like this. Like I want to know more. Like you know what I mean? Like come on, why? But anyway, yeah, I'm excited, man. I love the Wolf Among Us, man. So like I said, yeah, I
Cool.
want to make it a personal. If even if we don't do it on Cantina, I want to make it a goal of mine to catch up on those Fables comics because
Yeah.
I'm definitely super into that. So definitely wanna do that. Anyway, we can move on to the next thing. which is that Rockstar has unveiled GTA Plus, a GTA Online subscription with
Oh
exclusive
yes.
benefits and bonus rewards.
I saw this. It seems like the worst deal in gaming, but go ahead and tell us what it's about, Daniel.
Starting March 29th, players can sign up for the membership for $5.99 a month and can be canceled at any time. That cost will get you a recurring monthly 500,000 direct deposit to your Maze bank account, plus exclusive benefits like the waived LS car meet membership fees and more. Based on Rockstar's announcement, it seems like the monthly rewards and benefits will change because they list what subscribers will get for the period of March 29th through April 7th. Over on their announcement, they said GTA Plus is a new membership program exclusively for GTA Online on the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, which is interesting because it's not for previous gen; it's just for current gen. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, "Oh, I play on the PS4 or PS3 or whatever, and I'm gonna get this membership," sounds like it's only for PS5 and Xbox X and S. So if you don't have a current modern console, then you're out of luck, I guess, if you want to pay for this for some reason. But anyway,
Trust me, you don't.
uh, I'm gonna
You don't want to
continue
pay for
reading.
this.
We got let's see. Providing easy access to a range of valuable benefits for both new and long-standing players in the latest generation consoles. There you go again, confirmation of the latest consoles. Being a GTA Plus member gets you a recurring monthly 500K, plus the opportunity to claim properties in and around Los Santos that unlock gameplay updates you may have missed out on. Special vehicle upgrades, member-only discounts, GTA dollars, and RP bonuses for each month. So this is for the first month of March 29th through April 27th. 500K. The Principe Devastate, which is I guess what is this? Special upgrades work before, I guess it's like a vehicle or something. Auto shop located in La Mesa. Bunch of gameplay updates from the tuners. Current auto shop owners can relocate to La Mesa at no additional cost. Waived LS car meet memberships. Current LS car meet members of GTA Plus will be reimbursed 550K during this event period. Yacht owners can upgrade to the Aquarius Super Yacht at no additional cost. The Gusseau Frog Tee and a Broker Prolapse basketball top and shorts automatically added to your wardrobe. The conveyor livery of the Mammoth Avenger, HVY APC and TM02 Kanjali. A selection of free paints and emblems for the auto shop. 3 times GTA dollars in RP on Howe's Special Works Race Series. 2 times car meet rep on the Street Race Series. So that is what you get for the first month. As I see Josh just looking in complete and utter, just like, yeah, there he is. There he goes.
I've never seen such a money grab in my whole life. Like, this is real bad. Hey, Rockstar, if you want to make money, just make fucking games, dude. You're not a fucking MMO. Make a goddamn game, put it out, and we'll buy it. Make some decent DLC, maybe, for Red Dead. You know? Like, the only people that are gonna do this are fucking morons. Like, I'm sorry, if you get this, I think you're a fucking idiot. I'm just gonna say it. You're stupid if you buy this. Alright? Because, one, you're encouraging, in my opinion, a horrible practice by a game company, which is a subscription service for something that doesn't require a subscription service. The rewards are ass. 500,000 a month, like, for when they release something new, it's millions of dollars in GTA. 500 grand's nothing. I also love that they add on. Rockstar says GTA Plus members will also be able to purchase GTA Plus shark cards that provide extra bonus cash. Dude,
So they don't give you that. They give you access to buy them.
I hate this. I just hate it. And if you get it, I hate you. Okay? Like, I'm just gonna let you know. If you buy this, you're a mortal enemy of mine for life because you are encouraging a terrible business practice that I despise.
Oh shit, that's funny.
You're enabling Rockstar to keep fucking people that love Red Dead and even GTA.
True.
Like, I despise this. I think it's moronic and stupid.
And if you're denying me my Red Dead content, fuck you, man, because I want more Red Dead content. bastard.
Rockstar could be making decent DLC, for their games. Instead, they're like, guys, I got an idea. We got a lot of kids that play GTA, right? Those kids
Yeah.
got their parents' credit cards, okay? So follow me here. We're gonna pretend we're offering them a thing for $7 a month. Go fuck yourself. I'm gonna keep my $7 or however much this costs. It's like $5.99. I'm
It's like,
throwing in
yeah,
taxes. I'm throwing in tax and stuff, adding up the fees that it's obviously gonna be on there. Save your $6-7, right? You can go buy 6 hamburgers, and it would be a better use of your money than this. All right, like
go to the
this.
fucking dollar menu, bro. Go hook yourself up.
This is fucking stupid. All right, like I can make guys. I understand that some of you pay subs on our Twitch channels because you want to support us because you like the content we do. I like to think that I offer you more content for your $5 on Twitch than Rockstar does in their fucking game if you feel the need to give me $5. Like, this is so stupid. It feels predatory to me in some ways too.
Yeah, if you guys want to spend $5, if you're if you have Amazon Prime, feel free to throw your Prime sub over here, man. It doesn't cost you
Yeah,
anything, man.
that's true.
That's if you already have Amazon Prime, throw your Prime out here, man. That's doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps us out. So there you go.
Go support a creator. You don't even have to support me or Daniel. Go find somebody that you like. Go give them a free Prime sub. Or go give them $5 a month. I would rather you do that for somebody that actually deserves it, not a fucking $1 billion company that fucks over their customers that could do better. Like, this is pathetic. That's what I got to say about that.
Yeah. Anyway, we can move on from that. Next thing we have here is the all-new PlayStation Plus launches in June with 700 plus games and more value than ever. So let's
Sorry,
get into that.
I spit on my camera a little bit when I was saying
So this was the news that we had today for PlayStation Plus. This is PlayStation's
yes.
answer. This is PlayStation's answer to the Microsoft's Game Pass or whatever, right?
Supposedly, yeah.
So what we have here is they're separating PlayStation Plus into 3 different tiers now. So there's PlayStation Plus Essential, PlayStation Plus Extra, and then PlayStation Plus Premium. So we're gonna get into what these changes are and all that here.
Also known as PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Plus Plus, and PlayStation Plus 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 Plus.
plus fucking cubed or whatever.
Oh my god! Sorry, I just thought that.
PlayStation Plus is the third power anyway.
Yeah.
PlayStation Plus Essential, which is I guess the basic one.
I think that's what we have now.
Yeah, provides the same benefits that PlayStation Plus members are getting today, such as 2 monthly downloadable games, exclusive discounts, cloud storage for saved games, online multiplayer access. There are no changes for members of this tier. It's going to be $10 monthly, 25 quarterly, and 60 yearly. And then PlayStation Plus Extra, which provides everything from the previous tier, but it's also going to be adding a catalog of up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including blockbuster hits from PlayStation Studios catalog and third-party partners. Games in the extra tier are downloadable for play, and that this tier is going to be $15 monthly, $40 quarterly, and $100 yearly. And then for the premium tier, again, all the previous benefits from the previous 2 tiers adds up to 340 additional games, including PS3 games available via cloud streaming, a catalog of beloved classic games available in both streaming and download options from the original PlayStation, PS2, and PSP generations. Offers cloud streaming access for original PlayStation, PS2, PSP, PS4 games offered in the extra and premium tiers markets, where PlayStation Now is currently available. Customers can stream games using PS4 and PS5 consoles and PC. Time limited game trials will also be offered in this tier, so customers can try select games before they buy. And this is going to be a $17.99 monthly, $50 quarterly, and $120 yearly subscription. The new extra and premium tiers represent a major evolution for PlayStation Plus. With these tiers, our key focus is to ensure that the hundreds of games we offer will include the best quality content that sets us apart. At launch, we plan to include titles such as Death Stranding, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, Mortal Kombat 11, and Returnal. We're working closely with our imaginative developers from PlayStation Studios and our third-party partners to include some of the best gaming experiences available with a library that will be regularly refreshed. More details to come on the games we'll have on our new PlayStation Plus service. With the new PlayStation Plus service launches, PlayStation Now will transition to the PlayStation Plus offering and no longer be available as a standalone service. So they're merging PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus essentially, which is what it sounded like by the sounds of what I was reading earlier. But anyway, PlayStation Now customers will migrate over to PlayStation Plus Premium with no increase to their current subscription fees at launch. This is a massive launch effort. We're rolling out PlayStation Plus, offering in a phased regional approach. In the June timeframe, we'll begin with the initial launch in several markets in Asia, followed by North America, Europe, and the rest of the world where PlayStation Plus is offered. We aim to have the best or the most PlayStation Network territories live with our new PS Plus game subscription service by the end of the first half of 2022. Plan to expand gaming streaming benefit to additional markets and provide more details at a later date. So yeah, that's those are the changes to PlayStation Plus, and they're merging PlayStation Now and Plus together, which makes a whole lot of sense with these changes. So what do you think, Josh? What's tiers? We
So
have tiers
we have tiers. It mostly really depends on what they're throwing, like adds a catalog of up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4, PS5 games. You know, what games are those? What are those 400? Are they going to be? It better be something fucking good. You know, if you want me to pay $100 a year, you know, like, one of the things I would change is I would have thrown the PSP version of a catalog. I'd throw that into the extra tier.
now.
Because and then keep the regular PlayStation and the PS2 in like that third tier, also PS3. The thing with cloud streaming is like it can be laggy and shit too. So like when you add that on there and you're like, this is a benefit, and like how much of a benefit is it really? Because that's $120 for you to stream a game to me. I'm having to pay my internet bill every month, right? So that's like that takes up streaming. You know, I gotta have good internet. What if I have a data cap on my internet? And like, you gotta think about the prices for all this shit. So it's like, it says it's $120 for like a year or $18 a month. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is a year. But you gotta think, what if I'm hitting data caps and getting those extra fees? I'm having to pay the internet fee for streaming. You know, it's like all that kind of matters.
It adds up.
So
Yeah.
and especially with the way that the cloud streaming isn't exactly perfect yet, and internet speeds in the United States are kind of dick at times, like a lot of the time. Like you've seen it on the stream, like at times where my frames will drop when we're doing the show. You know, when I stream a game, sometimes my stream will drop because my internet's not the best. You know, I'm sure it happens to every streamer out there. Like we're really lagging behind in terms of getting fiber out to people at reasonable prices. So I just don't think cloud streaming is where it's at yet. And I'm not going to pay $120 for that stuff. Like, I don't have a data cap fee, luckily, on my internet. But, you know, I could very easily eventually have one on there. And I'm going to be streaming video game data to my computer and filling up, you know, my data cap with my ISP and have to pay those extra fees. It's kind of going to suck if that's thing. So, like, all that kind of matters. as it currently stands, I'll just keep with my basic PS Plus until I see like a big benefit to having one of the other ones, because I definitely don't see one now, like, to moving it up. Like, this is just all the plans. It's not like necessarily what's in the plan. Like right now, I don't even have my Xbox Game Pass. But sometimes I'll do an Xbox Game Pass for a little while and swap it up. Um, but we'll see. What do you think?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this, Daniel?
Yeah, I don't. Another thing that we didn't mention in this is that Jim Ryan, PlayStation's CEO, was talking about why um they didn't include their Game Pass's biggest feature of including uh new games onto uh the service right away or whatever.
Mm.
And he said that well, I'm gonna quote what he said, so let me go ahead and say that first. In terms of putting our own games into the service or any of our services upon their release, as you well know, this is not a road that we've gone down in the past, and it's not a road that we're going to go down with this new service. We feel that if we were to do that with the games that we make at PlayStation Studios, the virtuous cycle will be broken. The level of investment that we need to make in our studios will not be possible, and we think the knock-on effect of the quality of the games we make will not be something that gamers want. So he's talking about why they don't include like uh their first party games or whatever onto the service immediately, kind of when Game Pass, there's oh, here's a new game that's going to come out, but guess what, it's going to be available on Game Pass day one, or something like that. So that's kind of what he was referring to in that. So he doesn't want to, yeah, they don't want to include their games straight to PlayStation Plus right away.
I mean, that's fine. You can do that, but Game Pass is going to remain the best deal in gaming, in my opinion, for the reason that they do it. Like, they're betting on the future, and PlayStation is kind of like trying to maintain what they have now a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, and Microsoft is buying up companies, and when they buy up things like Bethesda, and can be like, hey, guess what, guys? Starfield day one, Game Pass. Like, why would I ever want to buy that on PlayStation? Like, other than the fact that you might own one instead of an Xbox. Like, as it seems like they're missing the point a little bit uh, with it. Like, pretty soon Microsoft is gonna have guys, you can do Game Pass and World of Warcraft sub for $5 more. Kind of like a combined deal type of deal. Whereas PlayStation's like, guys, you can do cloud streaming over here for $120 a year. But it's not really $120 a year, because you're also paying for your internet, your data caps, and all that shit. So to me, this isn't that good. I really don't. Compared to the Xbox, I don't think it's that good, which makes me sad because I'm a Sony fanboy, as weird as that is. But I will stand by and say that I feel like Game Pass is one of the absolute best deals for people right now. New game comes out, I don't want to pay $60 for it, but I could do a couple months Game Pass and probably finish it up. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't have a lot of thoughts because we don't have the super details of everything that's going to be on here or release dates for anything, but just at a glance, I still think Game Pass is better at the moment, so we'll see, I guess, how it further develops. I do think it's cool playing the old games, but that's them trying to cash in on your nostalgia more than anything.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see. There's rumors of some other announcements this week from PlayStation. We'll see about that. as the week goes on. And obviously, we'll talk about it next week if they do drop. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I don't think it's a particularly good deal as it is, to be honest. Like 700 plus games, yeah, like stuff we've played before in the past, and that you want to, cash in on. Yeah. What do we got next, Daniel? If we don't have anything more to say on that.
Yeah, we can move on from that.
Maybe I'm letting my truth
thing-
fly too free today. I don't know, but I feel like I'm attacking everything.
The last thing we have here today is that there's a launch timing update for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel, which still doesn't have a fucking name, but we're gonna check this out here.
All right, let's check this out. Let me open this. I swear to God, if this is a minute and a half of a black screen, I'm gonna laugh. All right, I got it up.
3, 2, 1, play.
こんにちは。ゼルダの伝説シリーズプロデューサーの青沼です。ゼルダの伝説ブレスオブザワイルド続編の発売時期に関してお知らせがあります。本作は2022年に発売を予定しているとお伝えしていましたが、開発にもう少しお時間をいただきたく、発売を2023年春に変更させていただきたいと思います。
Yeah, they're having a really hard time coming up with a name.
お待ちいただいている皆様、大変申し訳ありません。
Right?
I know that sounds like an asshole-ish thing to say, but I understand totally delays.
地上フィールドだけでなく、空の上にも広がると前回お伝えしましたが、拡張された世界はそれだけではなく、そこで皆さんを
Oh, that's crazy.
新たな出会いや新たな遊びも前作以上に多彩なものとなっています。そうした続編での体験を特別なものにするべく、開発チーム一同引き続き総力を挙げて取り組んでいきますので、どうか今しばらくお待ちいただければと思います。
I'm just
今回の
my
お知らせは以上とな
I
りま
know
す。
we're joking about like they can't come up with a name, but like I legit am wondering why they won't just fucking like name this game.
I don't know.
Like apparently the last thing I remember hearing was that they actually have a name, but they don't want to give it away because like this will spoil some of the game. But I'm like, what could that even like? You know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah. I just want to say for the audio listeners that don't speak Japanese, what all this video is all about is like, they're like, we previously announced a date for 2022. We're gonna have to delay the to spring of 2023. So that's what that's what that whole video is, and they show a little bit of footage from the game. But I don't know what the deal is. They don't. That with the name, I mean, I understand delays. Like COVID has fucking crippled so many things, but
Yeah, sure.
The naming thing I don't get. Like how long is this? It's been announced. This has been announced for like a while now, right? Like I feel like
it's been a while now. Yeah, I feel like it's been a year or two now that this thing has been announced. But I just like why can't we have why don't we have a name for this, man? Like I'm sick of calling it the Legend of Zelda or the sequel to the Legend of Zelda: The Breath of the Wild. Can we give it a fucking name, like a proper name already, man? God,
I don't know. I don't honestly don't know why they would just call it Breath of the Wild 2. Like, like, why are you're gonna spoil if you have a title that's gonna spoil it anyway? Why not just go ahead and get it out there? Like not to be a dick about it, but like I don't understand. Like, give it a fucking name.
Yeah, I'm sick of this, man. I'm sick of it. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm ready to move on to the TV news, man.
All right, yeah, let's keep on moving. Go ahead.
All right.
Oh, we have a trailer first. Okay.
So first thing we got here is we have a trailer for Tekken Bloodline, official teaser over at Netflix.
All right, let's check this out. I got it up.
The first opponent you must defeat in any fight is yourself. When you have mastered the moment,
So I don't know how big of a Tekken fan you are, and I am not really, but like I've played
I've-
some of the games here and there.
I've played them in the past,
Hmm.
Jin Kazama.
but like dang man, he chopped him down.
Demon. Why are you here?
I'm trying to find my grandfather. Heihachi Mishi.
Heihachi.
Kazama, I will train you to fight. In return, you will prove to me you're worthy of your ancestry.
Damn, that dude's as big as fucking Kingpin in Spider-Verse.
Dude, anybody's big as Kingpin and Spider-Verse is fucking wild, man. That's a big motherfucker if you're as big as Kingpin is in that movie. Like,
I feel
straight up.
like I played Tekken more growing up. Like my dad, fighting games are not my thing. They never really have been. I like Mortal Kombat because everybody liked Mortal Kombat growing up. You know, we like the blood, violence, and gore. Right? Let's not beat around the bush. We loved Mortal Kombat for those reasons. Tekken I played because Dad wanted to have video games to play. You know, like growing up. So
Yeah.
I don't know. The trailer looks kind of good. I mean, I'm gonna check it out. It didn't look bad.
It looks pretty decent, yeah, for sure.
But I mean, it's a fighting game. Not to be an asshole, but who gives a fuck about story in fighting games? Like, I don't think anybody really did. Like, I don't remember. I mean, Mortal Kombat obviously had stories and they had character stories, and as you kind of went through it, unlock them. But like, it didn't really have like a story until like the later Mortal Kombat games, like X and 11 and however fucking number we're up to now. You know, where they had actually good story modes. So, we'll see if they can sell me on characters that we have used to fight growing up as a kid, I guess. Where's my Primal Carnage show?
It's like it seems like Heihachi is gonna be a big focus on this show, so there you go.
Mm-hmm. Give me Primal Carnage, the fucking movie. All right.
And you know, it's funny that we mentioned that who gives a shit about fighting game stories and fighting games. But the reason why I played Injustice, the DC fighting game, was because I was curious about the story, dude. I was like,
yeah. Well, yeah,
because I'm not into fighting games either, right? Like I only play like Smash Bros. If any fighting games, right? So I'm just like, oh, it's DC, it's a fighting game, so I'll check it out.
That's the thing, though. That's different because they're comic books first, right? Like, so they're gonna have a story because comics are stories, right? Tekken is they're just throwing
First and
down.
foremost, yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
Injustice has a great story. You know, and Mortal Kombat versus DC or whatever the fuck had an interesting story. You know, where they had the little crossover kind of stuff. You know, so with something that's just Tekken, you have to sell really hard to make me like those. Not like those characters, but kind of get in their head a little bit. What do we have next, Daniel? If that's all we have for Tekken, because I don't have any more to say on it.
Yep. Next up, we have what's going to be new on HBO Max this upcoming month. So we have a lot of things on here. So I would say we're not going to read them all off because it's way too much. But I would say look through this list, Josh, and see what if anything piques your interest of what's coming to HBO Max next month. So there's a lot of stuff on here, like Annabelle, fucking Beetlejuice, Dances with Wolves.
Oh man, Iron Eagle. I own Dances with Wolves, so I ain't too worried about that. We'll do our Cobra Kai, Johnny Lawrence fantasies, and watch Iron Eagle. How about it? Let's go. Crawl. We might do a retro rewind of Crawl at some point in the future. I haven't seen
You got
that movie in so
Moon.
long.
There's a lot of
Moon's
stuff
great.
on this is only day one or April 1st. You know what I mean? So
If you guys haven't seen Moon, go check that out.
The Incredible Hulk, man, 2008. That's cool.
Let's see what we got here.
Oh, dude, The Last Airbender, man, 2010, the movie.
Oh hell no! Canceling my
Oh,
sub right now.
dude, the Raid Redemption, hell yeah, the extended version too. That's actually really cool.
The Raid's great.
Yeah, the Raids are fucking awesome.
Universal Soldier, The Return.
Man of Steel on April 5th. That's cool. I love Man of Steel. Tokyo Vice, the new show, new HBO Max show. Black Mass.
Black Mass is pretty good if you never seen it.
Barry season 3 on April 4th or April 24th. Let's see, Devil's Rejects, April 30th.
Oh,
and then
I didn't see much. So I don't want to see, to be honest.
And then we have a list of things leaving next month. So we got Too Fast, Too Furious.
Say it ain't so.
A Good Day to Die Hard, Bloodsport.
Bloodsport's classic.
Hitman 2007. So we got some Poltergeist stuff on here. The Brady Bunch movie. No, the Fast and the Furious. Dang, all these Fast and the Furious movies are leaving. So if you haven't seen them, check them out. I guess if you're into that.
If you haven't seen them, you've had 19 years. What the fuck were you doing?
True.
Okay, or 20 years.
I was gonna say if you're into that, you probably have seen them already, so it's no big deal. Won't You Be My Neighbor? Oh dang, that's leaving next month. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's what's coming and leaving. And then I'm sure the Batman, the new movie is gonna be on here at some point too,
Yeah, 45 days after release. I heard, or that's what I read, I think. Right.
Oh, I can't wait to rewatch that. But
same.
But yeah, that's what's coming and leaving. There's really if you guys want to check out a whole list, I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find it. There's there's a lot of titles on here that are both coming and going for next month.
And I'll just go ahead and tell you, none of them are worth watching. Holla if you hear me. But yeah, there's nothing on there that I want to see, except the Raid. The Raid's good.
Yeah. To be fair, there's a lot of good. There's some pretty good stuff on here, but a lot of it is just like
a lot of it is shit I've seen a billion times. Like I'm not trying to be an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. We've already seen it. Yeah.
There's Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. Remember when we watched that, Daniel? Daniel don't like musicals, guys. I don't know if you guys know this, but we did make him watch that one.
I'm not super into musicals. I do like the rare one on occasion, like La La Land, and I like Disney movies, and a lot of those are just fucking, I guess, musicals, right?
Yeah.
But anyway. But yeah, I'm generally not a musical person. But anyway.
Mulan starts as a musical, and then halfway through it becomes a war movie.
Yeah, and I love Mulan. Mulan's fucking great,
Mulan
man.
is fantastic.
A girl worth fighting for. Anyway, Halo has set a premiere viewership record for Paramount Plus. So according to Paramount, Halo has set a new record for the most watched series premiere globally in its first 24 hours of release, topping the previous mark established by Yellowstone prequel 1883 in December. As usual, no numbers were provided. For reference, though, the record-breaking 1883 series debut on Paramount Plus drew 4.9 million viewers in promotional linear airing behind Yellowstone on Paramount Network. We will get a sense of the scope of Halo's viewership when Nielsen's streaming rankings for this week come out. Paramount Plus original has yet to crack the top 10. So that's interesting. Even though we kind of briefly touched upon the first episode, on how we felt about it earlier. But
I'm mostly curious about the second episode and see what they retain, right? A lot of people just check this out because it's Halo and are curious. So I'm super curious about that second episode to be like.
And of course, they're gonna make the first episode at least decent because they want you to
get in.
Because everybody's gonna check it out and they want you to be, they want you to watch it. So
well, the first 15 minutes is great, right? Like everybody would watch that episode just for that first 15 minutes of like, all right, I've heard everybody talk about this. Let's check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, moving on to movie news.
All right.
There's a live action Voltron movie in the works, which I don't know how into like Voltron or any of that stuff you are. I mean, I've watched like some of it, but not like too much of it, to be honest. I know they came out with a new show on Netflix as well more recently, but I haven't seen that yet either.
Honestly, I haven't watched a lot of Voltron.
But hey, man, I'm into giant mechs fighting stuff, so fuck it, dude.
Hell yeah! Where's my Beetleborg movie? That I remember. Yeah, that's cool.
Ross and Marshall Thurber is going to be the director. Writing the screenplay is Ellen Shanman. And they've been trying for years to make this into a live action movie, but they haven't been able to do it until now, I guess. So we'll see how they do with it. I will be intrigued to see a trailer because I'm curious to see what this will look like in live action. But yeah. Moving on. We have a trailer.
Yes.
For Top Gun Maverick, which I haven't seen this yet because it dropped earlier today. So no reaction from me this time, or my reaction is gonna be here on the podcast. So let's get it, man. Let's
count us down.
Let's see what we got here. Let me open it up. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, look at that! Another countdown within the trailer.
Here I thought we were special.
Fellas, this here's Bagman.
Hangman.
Whatever.
What the hell kind of mission is this?
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they gonna get to teach us?
Who, you ask?
Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell. Let me be perfectly blunt. You are not my first choice. You are here at the request of Admiral Kazansky, aka Iceman. He seems to think that you have something left to offer the Navy. What that is, I can't imagine.
I forgot John Hamm was in this movie.
Yeah.
All due respect, sir. I'm not a teacher. Just want to manage expectations.
What the hell? Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
And we're off.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Dismay.
We're going into combat on a level no living pilot's ever seen.
Not even him.
You think up there you're dead. Believe me.
My dad believed in you. I'm not gonna make the same mistake.
Oh shit, okay.
Someone's not coming back from this.
Those are your pilots. Anything happens to them. You'll never forgive yourself.
No turning back now.
Having any fun yet?
Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, that looks pretty good, dude. I'm in.
May 27th. There you go.
I'll probably drag my old man to the theater. See, we're all vaxxed up. Let's go check it out. I think that looks great. I think that looks really cool. It's been quiet for a while because it was supposed to come out, and they delayed it. And
Yeah, it's
we've
supposed to
seen,
come out like a while ago, man. But
they've posted multiple trailers, but honestly, I think that's the best one. I'm really looking forward to the movie now.
So close now, man.
Yeah, we also got a poster here, guys. I'll throw that up as well. It's a pretty decent poster. You got Maverick and the jet in the background there. No, just a poster.
Yeah. In theaters and IMAX. Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Nice.
I remember growing up watching Top Gun a lot. My parents would have it on, so my mom was a big Top Gun fan.
All right. That'll wrap up our news for this week, man.
That is the news, ladies and gentlemen, that we have for you this week. I'm sure we'll have more for you next week. I'm sure we'll have drops throughout this week. We're gonna take a quick break here. Get up, go bathroom, all that stuff. When we come back, we'll be talking Deadwood. We're gonna spoil the shit out of it. So if you haven't seen it, get the fuck out. Yeah. Don't come back till you've seen it.
Yes. Exactly. Because we got some things to talk about, man. There's some things to talk about for sure.
It's gonna be interesting. I look forward to talking about it. But yeah, I'll put some music on for you guys, run some ads, and we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Be right back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Clockwork Cantina. We're ready for the second half of the show here. Let me make sure I've resumed the recording. I have.
Yes.
I've killed the music. It's us. We're here. We're going to be talking about Deadwood. We're going to be spoiling Deadwood. So if you haven't seen Deadwood, this is your warning. Take a hike before you get spoiled on 3 seasons of Deadwood plus the Deadwood movie.
Indeed.
So I'm going to throw up a text warning there. There it is, Deadwood spoilers. So, Deadwood is a show that we've heard about, right? Like, I've heard about growing up, kind of like, because it came out when we were like...
2004 it came out.
Yeah.
So it's early 2000s show in that era.
So I was like, 2004, I was like 14, right? So,
yeah, I definitely wasn't watching this kind of stuff back then.
No. I remember it like... So I remember advertising on HBO, but I didn't watch it. But I would see like an ad for it, and it was one of those shows that it had 3 seasons and it kind of got canceled a little early. This is before HBO had their kind of formula down for shows, right? This is around that they had Deadwood, they had Rome in this time period that also kind of got canceled a little early and stuff. But I know people really liked it. Growing up, I knew people had liked it and were like kind of disappointed that it didn't kind of continue on. But I hadn't really watched it until I hadn't watched it. I don't know why I said I kind of haven't. I haven't watched it at all. So we were like, we're gonna do this on podcast. I was like, okay, gives me a reason to watch Deadwood because it's something we've said that we were gonna do for a while, and now we've done it, Daniel. We've watched 3 seasons and a movie.
3 seasons in a movie, indeed, man. It was a heck of a journey to get to this point.
And we'll start with did you like Deadwood? Did you like most of it?
I'm gonna
Just
wait.
curious.
I'm
You can wait.
gonna
You can
wait to
wait.
say whether I liked it or not. I'm gonna
Okay.
wait till the end because this is a complicated thing here.
It is a little complicated.
Because, like you said, we not only have a show or 3 seasons of a show, we also have a movie, and then this show, like you said, was prematurely canceled, which makes things different. So I'll wait to tell you guys whether I liked it or not until the end, because I think that'll I think it's definitely for this particular thing it's different, so we'll change it up in that regard.
I got you. Yeah, so we have the cast was like Timothy Oliphant as Seth Bullock. A lot of these characters are based on real people, but really the show kind of just takes a lot of liberties. Like, it's not meant to be like historically accurate at all, in my opinion, other than like a few deaths that happen. Ian McShane is Al Swearingen. Molly Parker is Alma Garrett. Jim Beaver is Whitney Ellsworth. There's a lot of characters in this show and movie. Brad Dourif as Dr. Amos Doc Cochran, who I didn't even realize that's fucking Grima Wormtongue. That is Doc. Like, I was like, wait a minute. It is? And then, like, it totally fucking is. John Hawkes is Soul Star. Paula Mackelson is Trixie. There's a gigantic cast of people in this show, so I'm not gonna like read all of them. But like we had like Keith Carradine, for example, is Wild Bill Hickok in the first season. Powers Booth is Cy Tall. Like there's a lot of characters.
Which goddamn Powers Booth, man! Holy shit, he was so good. But
yeah. We haven't done one of these for a show in a while, so I've kind of forgotten how we do them. What do you think of the characters, Daniel? Do you have a favorite among them? Just out of curiosity,
man.
I will say nobody's really a good guy necessarily in this show. Like they are some shitty. Even the heroes are kind of shitty. Like even Seth Bullock is like fucking wrathful and angry a lot of those early seasons.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite character, but I there's a lot of great actors in this that have incredible like they're so good. Like I just mentioned Powers Booth. Powers Booth is so goddamn good as a fucking Cy Tolliver, you know, like, and then obviously Ian McShane is Al Swearingen, and it's just it's a hell of a group, man. Hell of a group. Is yeah, I don't know if I have a main character. I mean, I guess a lot of people would probably say like Seth, you know, probably Seth Bullock or you know, or Al or whatever. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I had like an actual like favorite character. I liked you know Bullock and Al and those guys, but favorite character, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think this is one of those shows where it's like I enjoy just having like the whole collective cast, you know, the main people together.
And yeah, I mean it is called Deadwood, so it's like it's the town. The town is like the camp, as they call it in the show. It's like all these people, right? And they all add something to it, like to the show, and their skill set. So I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite. I have moments with certain characters that are like my favorites, like when you know, even though he's like a small character, Tom Nuttall, when he's riding the bicycle and doing like the little thing down the town, you know, like that's one of my favorite moments with that character.
Speaking of fucking Tom, he has one of my absolute favorite lines in the entire fucking show, dude. You know the one I'm talking about?
I do.
Then he's like, "Those who doubt me suck cock by choice." That shit was that killed me, bro. That was so fucking amazing. That is such a great fucking line. Oh shit, I love that shit.
So
bro.
funny.
That's so good.
That's another thing that we're gonna bring up with this show. There are a lot of cuss words and there are a lot of slurs used in it.
Oh yeah,
Like
San Francisco cocksucker.
cocksucker.
Switching.
Switching, yeah.
Fucking Wu and Al's relationship was fucking hilarious. But yeah, there definitely is a lot of stuff here that gets said, and yeah, you know, a lot like Josh was saying, a lot of these guys are not good people, you know.
No, and it's a reflection of those times. This is meant to be the old West.
Indeed. Yeah.
So while obviously it makes me uncomfortable to hear a lot of those words and stuff, I'm like, it is kind of realistic to the times. It is realistic. Like there were a lot of racists in the old West, and a lot of looking down on other people, and just a lot of shitty. Al Swearingen is like a complicated character because it's like he calls them all these horrible names, right? But at the same time, he's like he's friends with oh, I just blanked on Wu. Yeah, Wu's name. I blanked on his name. Like somewhat, you know, he's horrible to Jewel, right? And like, but she gives it back to him just as hard. Like, it's like they almost have like a sibling like relationship, right? So he's like a character with that's like says a lot of mean, horrible shit, and does like a lot of horrible, mean shit. But there's some characters that he has like a connection to. Like Trixie is one of those characters that he has like a connection to. Because in season 1, I'm like, okay, Al and Seth are going to be enemies throughout this whole 3 seasons. That is not the case at all. like they're kind of like at odds for a little bit, for a while in season 1, but they end up kind of becoming unlikely allies for a good chunk of the rest of the series. So yeah, I had 3 seasons. Do you have a particular season that you enjoyed maybe more than the others? I'm not asking for like a favorite or if you liked the show or anything like that, but do you have a season that kind of, because I'll tell you mine, which is I really like season 1, and I really like, and the reason I like it is because we have Wild Bill Hickok for the first season. And I like him and Seth kind of becoming like friends. And one of my favorite moments in the show is like when they're going to confront, I think, one of the road agents for something that happens in season 1. Like Hickok backs him up and they draw on this dude and both shoot him down. It's like, I love that moment when they do it in the show. I'm like, oh, look at these guys. These guys are badasses. Like, I know Wild Bill, and I've heard the name of Seth Bullock in like real life, but here they are in this show, and they're, you know, like if you watch the clip or the scene that happens, I think Wild Bill's actually faster than Seth, which makes total sense because he's supposed to be like a very fast draw and shoot.
Yeah.
So that's like, I think I enjoyed season 1 the most. That isn't to say I didn't like the other seasons or anything like that. I didn't think they were necessarily bad, but like, what I liked was Wild Bill, what we got of Wild Bill. And Wild Bill is like a, spoilers, even though he gets killed, he's kind of like remains throughout the show, and even in the movie, it's a tinge.
Yeah. Sure.
Especially for Calamity Jane. But any of those kind of, any particular season that's grabbing you, Daniel, or nah, or you liked them all the same, or
I don't know, because like I feel like I watched, like when we were first watching the show, or when I was watching season 1, it kind of took me like a few episodes to get into it, you know. But then by the end of season 1, I was all into it, right? So it took me a little bit to get there, but once I got there, I was like all in, you know.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. I mean, I do like some of the stuff going on in season 1, and I like the way that like the season 1 finale, you know, happens with Seth and Alma finally, you know, because they've been like leading up to that moment, right? It's like, oh man, here we go, finally. And it's like, and ultimately in the end, it's a little disappointing that they don't end up together, because it's like, man,
yeah,
it's like they, you know, because like he was only married to his wife because, you know, she was his brother's woman, and they had a kid, and
He wanted to
and
take
then
care of him, kind of
he
thing.
wanted to
Yeah.
take care of him exactly. So it wasn't like his choice, but like he was just doing what he had to do, right? And but I'm not really like into the whole like shipping stuff, but man, Seth and and Mrs. Garrett, bro, they should have happened. But anyway,
Yeah.
uh,
But it also kind of shows the kind of person that Seth is at the same time, like, respect and honor above like love and his own personal feelings, because he's obviously in love with Garrett, Alma Garrett, right? Like they are in love
yeah,
with each other, but ultimately, it's his internal struggle with like his own honor, I guess, and his own like what is his sense of right and righteousness. Um, Kind of gets the better of him, and I think that says a lot about his character. I am with you. I also kind of wish that they could kind of been a couple, like a little bit longer, maybe. But really, I wish they kind of had ended up together. But it's that's the way, I guess. I was like, man,
yeah. That's
I
how
was
it is.
like
That's how it
this,
is sometimes.
especially because you get a lot of Alma Garrett through 3 seasons. You only get a little bit of Bullock's wife, right? Like, I mean, you
Yeah,
get a lot of her. I want to say in season 2, and then in season 3, she kind of gets to put on the back burner a little bit, other than like the school thing, for the most part, in my opinion. And a few moments with Seth. So it's really easy to be like, I want Seth and Alma to be a couple a little bit, because you see those like lingering affections and looks they have for each other, and it's like, oh, they obviously still
yeah. Later
care
on,
about each other.
yeah,
Um, but I also like Mr. Ellsworth quite a bit. Like if there is a good guy character in Deadwood, it's probably Whitney Ellsworth, because like there's never like a point where he necessarily does anything shady or evil that could be construed as evil. You know what I mean? Like, but he's obviously also like a lot older than Alma Garrett and stuff. So
yeah.
I really like if there was a good character in Deadwood, I would say he is that one. Um, And yeah, you're right. It does take a couple episodes to kind of get into it, because like,
Yeah, at least for me, it did. I was like, well, I know I'm gonna probably end up liking this, but yeah, I don't know. It just took me for whatever reason. It just took me a little bit to get into it. But by the season 1 finale, I was like, all right, cool. I'm in.
yeah, the Alma's husband storyline. All I could think of is that this guy's an idiot. Like, he is going out into the will. Like, how are you this dumb? Is all I could think of. Is like, they're obviously gonna kill you. How do you not see this? Kind of thing. And yeah, that definitely happens. Another thing I'm gonna say is that they use a lot of old-timey dialogue and words in the show, and at times it makes it hard for me to follow. I don't know if that was like for you too. I'm like, they're saying some words in here that I have no idea what they mean.
I remember at one point, Mrs. Bullock said a word, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta look up what that means, because it sounds like a good word, but I just didn't know what it meant, right?" And as I'm saying it right now, I don't remember what it is, but like it made me like look something up, and what good it did to me, because I don't remember it right now, but like
Yeah, I know, right? It's like I can't remember.
like it happening, and I was like, oh, I gotta look this up, and then it was a good word. Like I wish I would remember it, because I probably would have incorporated it into my vocabulary if I would have retained it, but I just I don't remember it. But yeah, no, there was certain instances where they said some stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I gotta look up what this means, or I gotta or like, given the context, I can kind of understand what it means. But yeah, I know, I get you.
Sometimes though, a character will monologue, and they're almost like a Shakespearean like reading in words that they use, in like their tone and in the amount that they say, where it's just like, a lot of this is flying over my head, but it sounds pretty, like at times. At least with the more educated characters. For example, when we're like with Wu, I know exactly what woo means when he says in English. You know, it's like
Yeah. San Francisco cocksucker.
easy to get what he means, right? It's not like it's complicated. The same with Jane, right? Because Jane is drunk a lot. So she's a lot of her words are just cuss words, which are pretty funny. I don't know. It's neat, and I'm sure
Jane.
I'm sure you, much like me, saw a lot of Red Dead references. That they had obviously seen this show and put it into like the video game when they did like Red Dead Redemption 2 and stuff like that. The biggest one is like the dude that runs like the boarding house in season 2 or 3 makes me think of Trelawney a little bit from Red Dead 2. Like when I looked at him, I'm like, he doesn't act like the character, but he kind of looks like him, and he's kind of got like this house kind of setup. Makes me think of him a little bit. Cy Tolliver, Powers Booth.
Oh man, Powers Booth, dude. What a his character is not a great man, like we were saying. But goddamn, does fucking Powers Booth play the shit out of that character, man. Holy hell.
Yeah.
He's probably like one of my favorite like acting wise. Like I thought he killed it, man.
He makes me think of Dutch. Dude. His character makes me think of Dutch a lot. From Red Dead. So there's definitely like this is like if they were gonna do a Red Dead movie or a show, like I'd be like, this Deadwood is totally that. At times. So I definitely saw some like they obviously you borrow from things you love. I do it with D&D quite a bit. So like yeah. Also fuck Pinkertons. All right, in both Deadwood,
goddamn Pinkertons. Yeah, that's
in Deadwood, in Deadwood and Red Dead, they're just terrible. And I imagine they probably were in real life quite a bit because they were kind of like they were kind of ruthless.
Goddamn George Harris, man.
But yeah, Cy Tolliver is like all right, when I say I don't like his character, I mean like it's an evil character is what I mean when I say I don't like it.
Yeah.
But Powers Booth's performance is like this dude is fucking fantastic as this character.
It is because I mean I was just thinking like it's a shame he's no longer with us because man, I definitely would have loved to have seen him in the movie, and I definitely would have loved to have seen him in other stuff like now. You know, so it's a shame he's not around anymore. But yeah, goddamn, he's so fucking good, dude.
He is very menacing, and like if I never see it, I've seen anything else like, and I've seen him in other things, but like he's Curly Bill in Tombstone, right? But like when this is like when I think of this actor, I will always think of him as Cy Tolliver on Deadwood now. Like to me, that is like his ultimate, that is who he was character. Because goddamn, he is menacing in the show. And at times an uneasy ally of everybody. Like the whole thing in Deadwood is like they're all on these shaky allegiances with each other because there's like a bigger threat at times. Like what else is there to say? Like I enjoyed most of the seasons. Like
like
they all kind of had different threats and
certainly
stuff.
aspects in all of them that I enjoyed.
It's kind of a bummer we get when Brian Cox showed up in season 3, I was like, oh man. Cause as Jack Langshey, the fucking actor, like when those guys talk. Them are the ones I have to think about.
Fucking Jack Langrish, yep.
Yeah.
He wants to
Um,
make a fucking theater. Yeah.
yeah. I didn't realize that Brian Cox was in Deadwood till he actually showed up, and I was like, oh, that's cool because I've seen him in so many things. Uh, so that was like a cool addition. I enjoyed his character. Blazanov was a cool character.
Oh
The
yeah,
fucking
Blazanov, dude. Yeah, the Russian
I was
guy.
like,
Yeah.
what was he? He wasn't in the movie, was he?
No,
I
I
was
don't
gonna say,
believe
I was
so.
like, because I was kind of I was trying to keep an eye out to see who would be like, who's gonna show up and who isn't. Because obviously we'd lost some people to deaths and stuff. So, um, um, the newspaper guy whose name is escaping me right now.
You're talking about shit. I know
Oh,
you're
what's his
talking
fucking
about, but
name?
his name
Merrick.
is
It's
escaping me right now.
Merrick.
Ah, that's
A.W.
what it was.
Merrick. Yeah.
A.W. Merrick, yes.
Like, I enjoyed his character. Joni Stubbs, I enjoyed her character. Like,
Yeah, dude, Joni was pretty cool, man. Yeah. I
mm-hmm.
like. As we say, you know who kind of annoyed me a lot throughout the show?
I know who you're gonna say.
Who do you think?
E.B.
This
Farnham, right?
man.
Like, because for me, that was that character. I despise that character.
No, well, E.B. Farnham is just he's just a worm, dude. He's just out for himself, right? He's
I
just,
despised him. He has a
he's
moment in
just
the
shit.
movie though where I'm like, hey, he kind of got a little redemption.
He's always shitting on fucking Richardson or whatever,
Richardson. Oh my God, Richardson.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna say?
No,
Who you got?
fucking like it wasn't all the time, but god damn it, Trixie annoyed me sometimes with some of the shit she was doing, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Like when she just straight up like shot George Hurst without a plan. I was like, oh my god, Trixie, what the fuck are you doing? She just fucked she got that poor girl killed because Al was like, well, I'm not gonna kill Trixie because I love Trixie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get this other whore that the other guy likes, and now the other poor fucking guy, which I'm blanking on his name. What's his name, like
Johnny.
Tom or something? Oh,
It's Johnny
Johnny.
Burns, I believe.
Yeah, fucking poor Johnny. Girl he liked. Had to kill that girl because fucking Trixie shot George without consulting anybody. Oh, let me flash my tits in public and let me go shoot this guy. Like, god damn it, Trixie. Again, she didn't annoy me always, but a lot of the time she fucking annoyed the shit out of me, dude. I was like, what are you doing?
She is the definition of chaotic. Like,
yeah,
her character is very chaotic. That even rolls over into the movie again.
Yeah.
Even though it's like much years later.
Yeah.
But yeah. I really like Doc. At first I'm like,
Doc was great.
At first I thought the Doc is gonna be like some crazy dude. I thought he was gonna be an evil character. I thought he's gonna fucking murder people and take their bodies and like chop them up and do evil shit with them. Doc is not that character that I thought he was gonna be at the start. He is a no nonsense, don't give a fuck, I will tell you what you need to know whether you like it or not character. And I was like, I really like Doc. Like, probably one of my favorite characters in the show.
Yeah, he was good. I like Doc as well.
In the later seasons, I like the actor that plays George Hurst. He's got a really good voice. When he talks, I'm like, this dude would do great as a voice actor. Like, his voice is, I mean, obviously he's a physical actor too, but like, I'm like, his voice in particular, like, stands out to me. Like, it's like, that dude should be more in video games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What else do you want to talk about with this show, Daniel? Because
first, his character was like annoyed me too because it's like you know that nobody can do nothing to him, but at the same time I'm like, why isn't anybody doing anything about this son of a bitch? He cuts off Al's finger. He which reminds me, you know what cracked me up all the time too? When anytime Seth brought somebody into custody, he'd grab him by the fucking ear.
Fucking ear, treats him like a child. Yeah,
grab him by the fucking, you're under arrest, and he brings him in by the fucking ear. And then I liked him with being the sheriff with fucking goddamn, what's his name? Oh no, why am I blanking out on his name?
Charlie Utter, that character.
Yes, Charlie Utter. That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking of. Yeah,
who I
those two
haven't
being the two
mentioned,
guys.
which I haven't mentioned up
Yeah,
to this
we
point.
haven't brought him up yet. Yeah.
I really like Charlie Utter. Like, really one of my favorite characters in the show. Like another one of those. He's almost a good character, good guy. I mean, character, but he has some moments where it's like, all right, he can do some shady shit too at times. Like he's the one that's friends with Wild Bill in season 1, and like him and Wild Bill kind of back Bullock and Soul at a few points, and I'm like, okay, by connecting them with Seth, it instantly kind of makes me like him. And him and Jane's like friend enemy ship, I should say, because they're like have this weird. They have like they're types of friends that like shit on each other all the time, right? Like throw mean words at each other, but they're still friends in the end if you ever needed them.
They always had that back and forth.
Yeah. Daniel, did you ever watch Sons of Anarchy?
No.
So
is he in that show?
There's a lot of people in Deadwood that go on to be in Sons of Anarchy. Charlie Utter is in Sons of Anarchy. He plays a cop. The actress that plays Trixie is in Sons of Anarchy as a different character, obviously. Jane is in
Damn, really?
Sons, yeah.
Same,
not Jack McCall. Sorry, the Reverend from season 1, Ray McKinnon, is in Sons at a point. Like I read an article and I was like, all these actors that were from Deadwood, like they got cast in the Sons of Anarchy, which yeah, we didn't mention Ray McKinnon in season 1. Like the actor. He's in the season 1 a lot, and he spoilers, he dies. He has a brain tumor. That kind of makes him. It's really sad. Like I feel so bad for this character, and like he just, as the series progresses through the first season, he like just deteriorates more and more and has seizures and goes blind and ends up being kind of like disabled. Right, to the point where like Al kills him out of mercy, not out of anger or anything. He just kind of, like Al's even like be a peace brother. Like when he kills him, I'm like, that was like one of those moments where you kind of see like Al is not all necessarily evil. Like he treats it really badly, but like when he has his private moments, it's like, okay, I can see a little bit of the sympathy here with the character. I can understand that a bit. Yeah. What else is there to talk about?
Speaking of some of the other characters, Dan was also one of my favorite characters.
Dan was great.
He was fantastic, dude. Which, speaking of which, his fight with fucking Turner, that shit was that's one of the most brutal, like real, like just two dudes going fucking at it. No choreography, none of that bullshit. Just we love choreographed fights, like in the the Raid and John Wick and all those, all the action movies and stuff. But this fight, just seeing two big dudes just going at it, beating the shit out of each other. Like one of these guys is gonna come out of here, alive, and the other one's gonna die. That was a hell of a fight, man. That was intense because you're like, oh shit, is Dan gonna die here?
I know. I was like, please, I want Dan to win. It's like what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, Dan, please win, Dan. Dan, please win, Dan. I just don't know how it was gonna end.
Yeah, it was intense, dude. It was an intense ass fight. So Dan was one of my favorite characters for sure, and that was a great fucking fight, man. And he pulls that dude's fucking eyeball out, dude. I was like, God damn.
For 2004, this show does some shit, especially with that eyeball. That I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't see this when I was that age, because that shit would have scarred me. But we live in an age where I've seen Game of Thrones and all the horrible shit that can happen on those shows. So the eyeball just hanging off his fucking eye didn't bother me that bad. That as bad as it might have as it would as a kid. I was like, oh my god. It's still terrible though, because that would be awful. And the thing that gets me about it is the screams. As he's just screaming.
Yeah, dude. That's what I mean about it being such a like gruesome, like intense, real, like just crazy fight, man. Like it's yeah, dude. It's like very like realistic, right? Like you know what I mean? Like it's just yeah, it was great, man.
He's just wailing horribly as his eyes like I'm like, Dan, please kill him so I don't have to hear it anymore. It's like it's so bad. That's why that makes it worse than just the eyeball thing. It's like you gotta hear his screams as it's like terrible. What else can we talk about?
I'm trying to think of like certain moments or whatever. We kind of talked about Mr. Wu already and his relationship with Al. That was a good one.
Oh, I'll tell you another character that pissed me off.
Who's that?
Oh my god, what's his name?
Who are you thinking of?
The guy, Steve Fields, the guy that's an asshole to Hostetler and Samuel.
Yeah, that guy was fucking annoying too. Yeah,
the drunk guy all the time and just would spew racist shit all the time. I'll be honest. I'm like, will you guys please? I begged for this character to be killed. I was like, please kill him. I'm so sick.
And then fucking dude was it annoyed me so much when they were trying to find the fucking board or whatever, right? And it's Seth and Samuels and you know they're all in there looking for the fucking piece, and he gets so goddamn frustrated at fucking Fields that he has to go and blow his fucking brains on their next door room, dude, while they're looking for it. I was like, man, that is fucked up shit right there. So it was very frustrating to watch.
And then to top it all off, the character isn't killed. He gets kicked by a horse and becomes like an invalid and like doesn't talk, doesn't do anything. And Samuel Fields, who's actual what he calls himself, I cannot say. But you know that character, the general, has the ends up having to take care of him. I'm like, are you kidding me? Why is he stuck taking care of this guy? Like he's not even like, oh my goodness. He doesn't know what's going on or anything, so it's like, ugh. Another character I have no idea what the point of them even being there is the character of Odell. Like,
he just kind of like showed up.
He shows up.
And then, like...
He shows up, tries to like fleece George Hurst, who then I'm pretty sure it's never confirmed has him killed.
Yeah.
And he's in there for like, is he in 2 episodes or 1 episode? I feel like he's in 2, but it may have just been the one.
He's in a couple episodes. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm just like, is this just? I don't understand what the point of his character is. Like, is it just to show that Aunt Lou has a son and raised him, and make her not like George Hurst when she learns that Odell is dead? I just don't understand the point of that character. He felt kind of pointless. I liked Silas Adams, which is the other dude that ends up working for.
Silas is cool too. Yeah, Titus Welliver, man.
He's in Sons of Anarchy at one point.
So fun fact, little bit of Star Wars connections here. We have some of these people in this show, in Deadwood, show up in some of the new Star Wars shows. So Titus Welliver, who plays Silas, was one of the Imperial officers in Mando season 2. Dan Doherty was he's the Twi'lek barkeep in both Mando and Book of Boba. You know not Twi'lek, the Weequay. Sorry,
the Weequay. Yeah,
he's the Weequay bar dude from Mos Pelgo / Freetown, and obviously Seth Bullock. Timothy Oliphant is Bob Man. So a little bit of some Star Wars connections. That's all I was saying. Like, man, I was like, it's such a bummer that Powers Booth is no longer with us because, man, I would have loved to have seen him in Star Wars, man.
Oh my god.
Could you imagine? That would have been great.
Yeah, I kind of wish we could have that.
Man, maybe we can have Ian McShane join, dude, because he'd be great too, dude. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Silas was great. I liked his character. Fucking Hawkeye was a damn fool too, though, man. Like,
Yeah.
I
kept expecting Hawkeye to get shanked at some point. He never gets killed. I'm like, this dude is so useless.
Yeah, I'm like, down almost beat the shit out. Well, he did beat the shit out of him, but he almost killed him. So I was kind of expecting it to happen at one point as well, but it just never did. Yeah. So yeah.
What
Talk
else
about
is there you
Jane a
want to talk
little
about?
bit. Jane and Joni. That was pretty cool how that ended up because with Joni trying to. Joni from like the start is trying to like escape Sai, like get away from Sai. She even tells him like, "Yo, you gotta let me go or you gotta kill me or whatever," right?
Yeah. She has a very tragic backstory too, which is like,
yeah,
horrible. Like even the most minor characters I enjoy, like the character of Mose, right? Like like in season, he's in at the end of season 2 and becomes like the season 3, like the big guy that ends up getting shot and kills his brother and all that. Like, even though he's not in the show a whole lot, I'm like, oh, this is cool. They gave him something to do. He's kind of hanging around a little bit. He even stands up to Sai at one point, when he's like kind of messing with Joni and Jane, and Jane comes running to him and is like, you gotta help Joni, I'm too afraid. I'm like, wow. At that moment. So like a lot of the characters are really great. The bad ones are bad though. The ones that really like annoy you. Like for me, EB, I despised EB. So when Seth finally beats the living fuck out of him at one point, I'm like, I laughed the whole time. I was like, I shouldn't be laughing at this character getting the shit kicked out of him, but I can't help but enjoy it because I didn't like the character.
I enjoyed I enjoyed EB's antics, but yeah, because he's such a fucking weasel who thinks he's better, bigger than he actually is. He's always shitting on Richardson, and but because
I am the mayor.
Yeah, I am the mayor. Fucking EB farm, dude.
All ceremonial that title means I am the mayor. He's always. I think the reason I didn't like him the most is that he's always constantly trying to skim off the top, especially in season 1, where they're like dealing with Alma Garrett and trying to buy the mine and all that, or the claim and all that, and like he doesn't offer her the full amount that Al's like, you should offer her the full amount. He tries to skim off the top. Like, oh my god, I'm like, this character's so stupid. Oh. He gets a redeeming moment in the movie though.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about Alma a whole lot apart from her and like Seth and stuff, but
she has cool storylines, man.
Yeah, her and Sophia and like everything with her husband, and then like trying to with the bank and all that.
Overcomes her addiction, like she gets kind of addicted to. She's addicted to, what is it, opium or whatever? I think it is. Or I kind of didn't like the regression that happens in season 3 with her kind of falling back into it after she's kind of beat it. I understand it, but I was like, I kind of don't like it. What else is there to talk about?
Also, Molly Parker was an attractive lady, but anyway.
Yes.
Oh, we haven't really talked about Soul a whole lot. John or Seth's
partner.
With the whole
Star and Bullock hardware,
with the hardware store and everything. Yeah,
they're making money hand over foot in that season 1, man. Like selling all that stuff.
Yeah, that's his right hand man right there, man. That's his boy, dude. They've been friends for a very long time.
Backs him up,
confides in him and all that,
I think I've
And then he
only
ends up.
really seen him in Deadwood. That actor.
Yeah, I was trying to remember like what I've seen him in, but I don't know what else I would have seen him in. But yeah, he ends up with Trixie, and then
They have some. He has some funny moments with Trixie.
yeah,
Uh,
their back and forth is hilarious. You know, she's always calling him a Jew, and like
mhm.
and she's always like,
She's like, "Do you want to get fucked or whatever?" Like all that
yeah.
stuff makes me laugh with how just blunt she is with it.
I mean, that's what she does, though, man. Right?
I know,
she's
but it cracks me
one of
up.
One of Swear Engine's best girls, man.
He cracks me up.
Yeah. No, I get
God, it's the look on Saul's face that gets me, and he's like, "Yeah."
Because for a lot of the time, he's like, "Oh no, I don't," he's always like deferring to something else, right? But then at that moment, he's like, "Yeah,
yeah." That makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And yeah, and I just one of the things that like it happens a lot in this show. Anytime they kill somebody, they just feed him the Woo's pigs. It's like, all right, well, here's another dead guy. Feed him to the pigs, dude.
It happens in the movie too. I was like, a small spoiler for the movie, but Seth kills somebody in the movie, and he looks at Wu and says, "Take that piece of shit to the pigs," or something like that. And I was like, that's the first time I feel like I've seen him actually acknowledge that the pigs eat people, and he's a goddamn marshal.
I mean, like, we'll get to the movie in a little bit, but like, there's there's a passage of time,
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's pretty funny.
I'm trying to think what else like big points we can mention of any of the 3 seasons. Oh, the dude who plays Walcott in season 2, that guy fucking is the dude who shoots Wild Bill, right?
He plays McCall, Jack McCall, yeah.
Yeah, so he's McCall in season 1. Then they bring him back as like, all right, he's gonna play Walcott, which Walcott was a fucking weirdo, man. That guy.
The way strange character.
Beating on the girls, and I was just like, what is this guy's deal, man?
So the thing with Deadwood that we haven't mentioned yet is it really captures that weird that weird strangeness that comes with the Old West a little bit, with like that kind of, you know what I mean? Like you see it a little bit in Red Dead, right? We get it with like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we do see it in Red Dead. Yeah,
there's a weird strangeness that kind of comes with it.
There's definitely a lot of strange
events, characters, people. Especially with like stranger missions in Red Dead and Red Dead 2, you meet like the big fat dude and his wife that is also obviously his sister, and like them, and like
that's a good point that I hadn't even thought of that you just mentioned. Yeah, they're definitely the West does have like those peculiar weird ass characters. It does. Yeah, absolutely.
So that was one thing I noticed just kind of as I watched. He's also in the Deadwood movie, by the way, for like a brief scene playing another different character. Does he? But yeah, that character is like in season 2. I'm like, this dude's fucking a psycho, crazy character. But yeah, as we watched Deadwood, all I could think of when they would have moments like with all these weird, strange characters and goings ons was like they really kind of captured that in Red Dead, and really some of the other Western games. I feel like there's always like this weird, almost supernatural things that happen in these Western video games, like even in games like Gun. Which did have you played Gun, or have you not played Gun?
I haven't. It's one of those ones that I've always wanted to play. Like I know it was like one of those like 360, like early Xbox 360 day games that I remember always wanting to play, but I just never got the chance to.
Yeah, I got you. I don't know. There's just like this weird aura that seems to surround the the Old West, you know, when they have these strange goings-ons and almost supernatural events. It's almost like, in some ways, horror. And it kind of, like, I never really thought about it until I was watching Deadwood, and then was comparing, like, the crazier characters to characters in Red Dead, because I can't help but think of Red Dead, obviously, 1 and 2, when I watched it. And then I was, like, sitting here thinking there's this aura around Old West in video games where there's always something strange kind of going on. There's serial killers and murderers and inbred hit hillbillies out in the fucking swamps trying to kill you, you know, like
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll see it in like some of those fucking old Western movies as well. Like, I guess I've never really thought about it until I was watching Deadwood, though.
Yeah, no,
The air of the supernatural.
you definitely bring up a good point. But yeah, it's something that I never really like thought about either. But yeah, I mean, once you like actually think about it, you're like, oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of these Western things have that connection for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Walcott was definitely a very strange. He fits that weird, Western character for sure.
One thing I didn't really get was like, I was like, why did they give Seth and his wife a son just to kill him off? Just to kill him off.
William.
I was like,
well, I mean, it definitely was a tragic thing for the town and everything. You know, you have like this kid who comes with his mom to the camp, you know, and they're like, you know, the camp is starting to become a town or whatever, and like, you know, they're in the early days of making things happen, and you know,
other
here's a
than
kid
the like,
who's early in his life, you know.
Other than the like bond the character of Seth and Martha together, and I guess kind of bond the camp a little bit, I was like, man, this just seems so cruel to have them have a son, and then he gets trampled and killed, and it's not quick. It's not quick. It's it's drawn out. It's horrible.
It's like what, 3 episodes of it? I think it takes up like 3 episodes, and then
I don't remember exactly how many it is. I just remember thinking this would be horrible.
Yeah, it's towards the end of season 2 when that happens. He gets trampled because what's his name? Tom, he's on his bike or whatever, and he's like, yo, you want to come check it out? And then yeah, he gets fucking trampled, man.
By a horse, which
is
by the stable guys.
Yeah, the doc is just like, yo, a grown man would be fucked up from this. So like, you know, a child of his size is not gonna, you know, it's not looking too hot. You know what I mean?
One of the things Doc says is like, you know, a few inches to the other side and he would have been killed instantly. Instead, it's a long, drawn-out process of him. He never wakes up. He never regains consciousness, but he's like, dies over a period of time that, like, you have to sit there and watch these characters agonize over this poor kid's death. And it's, like, horrible. And I really, the purpose it kind of serves is to bring the character of Seth and Martha, his wife, together closer, kind of, because they kind of bond closer after that, and then they have like the funeral and stuff. Sure. Yeah.
Which, like, the fucking the preacher guy surprised the shit out of me when he ended up stabbing Cy at the end there. I was like, holy crap, I didn't see that.
Andy Cramed, the whole that character. He starts off as like, he works for Cy, right? And then it turns out he has smallpox, and Cy's like takes him out to the fucking woods, and then Jane ends up taking care of him, and like he lives, and then we have a whole smallpox outbreak in fucking season 1, and then he just shanks Cy. And like, I'm just not taking shit from you anymore. He just shanks him in the stomach. It's like, he gutted me, or I think or something is like what Cy says. He gutted me. It's a fucking knife in his guts.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, that's the way like they. I think they end like season 2 with that, right? I think.
I thought Cy was gonna die. I thought he was gonna be dead.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. It's like, oh damn. Okay.
Getting stabbed by a preacher. In
And
Deadwood.
there's other characters in season 2 that they like. Obviously, they introduced George Hurst, who we kind of mentioned a little bit of, and then they like bring in Maddie, who was like the other lady with Joni as when they got their own place. You know,
Dude,
she was kind of yeah.
they make some dumb decisions at the Shiz and
That lady was led by greed, and she paid the ultimate price for her greed because she
Lawfat just starts killing people.
yeah. And then the other character that was introduced in season 2 was fucking one of the more major, the bigger characters that had stuff in the story was fuck, what's her name? The Sarah Paulson character, Miss
It starts with I am. It's in here. Irishman, something like that.
I don't, something like that.
It's this, but I'll type it to you in chat. It's this, but I don't know how to pronounce it. That lady. But I know you're talking about the like teacher lady.
Isringhausen, yeah. She was like, working with Sophia and Mrs. Garrett, or Miss Garrett and all that, and yeah, she she was fucking around with what's his name, Silas and whatnot, and yeah, she was trying to make some moves over here with Al, and he was like, yo, this, he's like, basically, he didn't quite say it, but he's like, yo, this bitch is smart, like, yeah,
yeah.
She had some stuff to do there as well.
I feel like she's mostly here to show you that the Pinkertons, and 2, that the Pinkertons will use anybody, including women, to be like detectives or whatever, which was a historical fact. They would go undercover in places as agents. I know that I've watched a lot of the History Channel, guys. So I know they've mentioned.
This is fact.
I know this is a fact. I've seen it on the History Channel. It's got to be real. But I'm pretty sure that they did.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree. Fuck the Pinkertons.
Fucking Pinkertons, man. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like, oh, dude, they have fucking Wyatt and Morgan Earp in season 3, dude.
Wasn't expecting that at all. Me
either. Then as soon as I saw dude with the fucking handlebar mustache, I was like, oh shit. I was like, no way, dude. No way did they do this in this show. And sure enough, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't expect that, but yeah, it happened. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot that goes on in these 3 seasons, man, and like, oh my goodness, we haven't even brought up Al's fucking horrible circumstances in season 2 at the beginning of that. Oh my god, go ahead, go Josh, talk.
Well, I was just gonna say right before we got to that, I was just gonna say, like, one of the things I respect about this show is like there's not a whole lot of shooting. There's a lot of stabbing, right? There's a lot of stabbing. There's some strangling. There's only like a few incidents where guns get drawn and people get shot, like a few. And that's all I was gonna say. It was like there's just not a if you go in expecting a Western where there's a lot of shooting, don't, because there's not a whole lot. There's a lot of stabbing though, and a lot of strangling and a lot of fighting. But yes, let's move on to the most painful moment in this show's history. It's the moment I talked about.
Fucking yeah, Josh mentioned that something made him like cringe in season 2, and as soon as we got to this point, I knew immediately what he was talking about. Oh, it was so fucking awful, Josh. Oh my god. I personally have never had the experience, stones,
Kidneys,
but
I have.
Oh my god,
Once.
that sounds and looks and all of it was fucking awful, dude. Oh my goodness. Oh god.
Well, he's got to have a big stone, because you can pass the small ones. It hurts like hell, but it don't make you bleed like he bled.
Fuck that, dude. I don't know. That was so rough, dude.
It was awful. It's so bad that he ends up having a stroke from passing it because he has to strain so hard. And he kind of gets messed up in like season 2 a little bit from it. And it's like he's just laying there, and when I found out it was a kidney stone that was giving it to him, that he was gonna have to pass, I was like, oh no. I can feel it now. We're talking about it and I can feel it, and it's making me hurt physically as we talk about it. It is the worst moment when he gets to the and he gets up and he's like, don't come, because they're thinking about having to cut him open to get it out, and he's probably gonna die from it if they do that. Like when he gets up and just passes, I had to look away. I screamed into a pillow and looked away because I could feel it for myself. It's not a good moment. It's a terrible moment.
when they decide to go on with the procedure with the doc and everything, dude, and like he's like, yo, I'm gonna stick this up there, and I was like, no, oh
no.
Oh,
every time that happens, and he does it like 2 times.
Oh, fuck,
I'm just like, no, no, it's terrible. It is awful.
It was the
oh
worst.
My god. I'm like, no, you
absolutely the worst.
I would be vomiting, like, if that was me. Like, there's no way. There's no way.
Just the thought of what they did to that, what they did to him, man. Ugh.
Oh, it's awful.
Fuck that.
It's awful. It's awful.
Poor bastard, dude, is all I have to say. This is why when people are like, oh, I wish I can go back in time. You want to go back in time to when shit like that can fucking, like, no, dude. No. You want to go back in time where you can die from from TB? Fuck that, man. No, dude.
I actually thought Doc was gonna die at one point. I was like, he's gonna die. I'm like, they're gonna kill off a character I enjoy quite a bit.
I was like, damn, I kind of thought you. Yeah, that's one other thing about the show. There are multiple instances of several characters that you like, or do you think are gonna die, and they don't. Like, again, Sai, I thought, when he got stabbed, I thought he was gonna die. Fucking Dan, when he was getting the shit beat out of him, I thought he was gonna die. Doc, when he was super sick, I thought he was gonna die. So there's multiple instances in the show where there's like characters that you're like, oh man, they're gonna make it through it, and ultimately they do. But they got you thinking there for a bit, man. Like, holy shit, what's gonna happen?
But the one character I knew was gonna die was gonna be Wild Bill. I'm like, oh, Jack McCall's here, Wild Bill's here. Oh, Wild Bill's gonna die. So I knew that was coming. I kind of wish we'd had him longer. I really liked his friendship with Seth, even though it's like brief.
Yeah, I was hoping Wild Bill would be around for longer too, but nope. Season 1, dude, they got him. They get him in season 1, and then like you said, Jane from that point on kind of is always thinking about Wild Bill.
Yeah. What else can we talk about?
Any other points in any of the 3 seasons you want to bring up?
I don't think so. None that I can think of right now.
I think we kind of briefly touched on things. So if you want, we can move on to the movie.
Just a quick thing I'm going to mention before we move on to the movie, which is like they do elections throughout the show. And one of the characters running is Harry Manning. He's running for sheriff against Bullock. The only reason I mention it is because I think he's in the movie, and he's like, there's something that happens with him in the movie, right? So, but now we can move on to the movie. Yeah.
All right. So the movie, the Deadwood. Oh no! Wait. Before we move on to the movie, let's talk about the fucking. I forgot about this. I wanted to bring it up. The end of season 3 was such a letdown for me, that final episode, because I was like, yo, that's it?
Right.
That's the way they decided to end it? Which, obviously they didn't decide to end it that way because the show got canceled. But more of my blame goes on the people who canceled the show. Like, you're going to cancel the show and leave that ending? I was upset, dude. I was like, what the hell?
Could you imagine?
This cannot be it. I'm so glad that we only started watching the show recently because it
Yeah.
cannot. I would be so pissed off if I was watching the show from day one, and that's what
Agreed.
they fucking did. I would be so heated, man.
I would. I
Oh,
agree.
dude, because I
I
was
was
salty. Dude. I was like, what
as
the fuck?
as I watched it, and I was like, this is how it ended for so many people, and I just thought, I was like, I'm so glad that I'm watching at a time where I get at least a movie that's kind of gonna wrap things up a little bit. So
Yeah, because I was like, this can't be. It just ends. Like it just ends. Like abruptly almost. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like that's it. And it's just like what? Like for 13 years, that was the ending until the movie came out in 2019, right? Because the
which is
show ended in
crazy, by
2000.
the way. It's
It is.
insane.
The show ended. The show was canceled in 2006, and then that was it. That was the ending. I would have been, dude. I would have been so fucking mad. I would have been upset, man, if that was the the true ending. It was for a long time until the movie, but then now we have the movie. So anyway, now we can move in. I just want to bring that up because I was like, that cannot be how they fucking like. Why did they decide to cancel it after that? Like, man, that was awful. Anyway, the movie. So 13 years, real life, 2006 to 2019. Obviously, we have some people, with time, people are no longer with us. They pass away, and that's just the natural course of things. And unfortunately, we have some people that couldn't be in the movie, Powers Booth and I forget I actually don't know the actor's name, but the guy who played Richardson, he passed away in 2015.
Mhm.
And Powers Booth passed away in 2017. So there's people who just couldn't, were unable to be in the movie. And an interesting thing about Powers Booth, by the way, I was looking looking stuff up after I watched the movie and the show and everything. He was actually buried in Deadwood, Texas.
Yeah, I saw that. I also
And
looked that up.
I was like, wow, that is something, man. But anyway, yeah. So the movie, 13 years in real life passes, but it's only 10 years in the universe or whatever.
Yeah.
And god damn, dude, they I don't know if they did this on purpose or it was just like because of the actual passage of time, but everybody looks so much older, dude. It
Mhm.
was like it was for me. I don't know if you felt. I don't know if this felt like this way for you, but like for me, because I watched like the show like the day before I watched the movie. Like I had finished season 3, and I was like, all right, tomorrow I'm gonna watch the movie. So man, just the stark difference of like how much older everybody looked. Like again, I
Mhm.
understand that it's 13 years in real life, but it was only like it was only supposed to be 10 years in the show or in the universe. But everybody looked so much older, dude. I was like, oh my god. I was like looking at Charlie Utter, and I was like, oh my goodness, he looks so much older. Fucking Seth looks older. Mrs. Garrett looks older. Sophia's not a child anymore. She's a, you know,
Mhm.
teenager slash young adult or whatever, right? And it's like,
Which is a
man,
young lady.
everybody just looks significantly older, man. I was like, damn, dude, like that is
The way
so
the
again, I
way
don't
I rationalized it, the way I kind of settled with it was like, this is the old west. They probably lived really hard lives in those 10 years, and
that's
that's kind of
true.
like how I rationalized it in my mind.
Yeah, I mean it's
But
true for sure.
the worst one is definitely Charlie Utter. Like he looks so much older, like so
Yeah, he
much
looks
older.
yeah.
Um,
And
ironic,
Bullock's got like gray hair and
ironically,
shit.
ironically, most of the ladies look fine. Like, but the men all look real
Yeah,
old.
yeah, it's true.
uh,
Yeah,
uh,
it just yeah, it was so crazy, man. Because like I said, I just finished watching the show, and it's like, oh man, all right, cool, everybody's here. And I don't know, it's like a sense of like it was kind of like a sense. I had like a sense of like sadness, dude, because it's like, man, here we are. The show is all over. We're watching the movie. Everybody looks so much older, and like we're missing some people. And like even with the train being there, it's like, oh, dude, it's kind of like Red Dead. Like the West is dying. Like we're civilization is catching
It's
up,
coming.
right? Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like trains and the power lines and everything, right? Like
There's a
they're,
telephone.
they're taking over, yeah.
Uh,
So it's like the changing of the times, man, is coming, and yeah, man, it was really crazy. And then that new girl they introduced, what was her name? Caroline or I think it was her name, right?
something like that. Yeah.
The new girl. The way that I interpreted her character was like she is like the new like um she's kind of like the audience, right? She's
Mm-hmm.
there to like uh guide us through, after not having the show for 13 years. All right, here's the movie. She's gonna, bring people up to speed, and she's the new character in town. So we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
reintroduce certain things here, and she's you know uh she's gonna remind some of our characters of people in their lives, like
Mm-hmm.
like for Trixie, I feel like she reminded her of a younger version of herself. For Al, she reminded her of like a younger Trixie, and that kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So I
Yeah.
thought, so I kind of got her character in that regard.
When I
And
saw
then
her,
like
I was like, "No, she's a baby. She can't be in the whorehouse." You know what I mean?
oh
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
she's
because that
too.
was like
Her
what she was
character
doing,
looks
right? Yeah,
so. Her character looks so young, and I'm just like, no. I was like, she's a baby. No, no I
because
can't.
that's what she was there for, right? She was in the whorehouse, and
Yeah,
yeah, it
I couldn't help myself. I was like, she's a kid. Come on.
eh, yeah, but it was which by the way, she goes back to being a kid at the end of the movie when her and Sophia are like
Mhm.
catching the snowflakes or whatever the fuck, right? At the end, like
Yeah.
she kind of gets the talk from Trixie of like, what, like get out of this, like go do something else, and then anyway, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but yeah, we come into town with Mrs. Ellsworth and Sophia coming out the train, and they meet Charlie Utter, who, yeah, man, like you say, I'm gonna keep saying this, but everybody looks so much older, man. He definitely looked so much older, and yeah, he brings him into town, and then George Hurst is there again, and Trixie doing her Trixie stuff goes out and yells at him in public in front of everybody.
Pregnant, smoking a cigarette, yelling at him on the
Yep.
balcony. I was like, well, that's not going to attract attention at all, Trixie. Like, like, Jesus Christ.
Right. Yep. And then also Martha and Seth have kids now, so
they got like 3 kids, yeah.
they got 3 kids. So William, the loss of William, they had 3 kids, man. It's been 10 years, so they had plenty of time to practice, and obviously Soul and then Trixie,
Mhm.
got a baby coming on the way, and yeah, and yeah, just seeing everybody just like Dan look older, and like Johnny and everything. It was crazy. And then dude, they fucking so Hearst wants to buy land off of Charlie Utter, and then like Charlie Utter has a talk he has a talk with Bullock, and forget who else. But he has a talk with anyway, they convince him not to sell, right? Because
Mhm.
because at the beginning he was like, well, I should sell, a man my age should probably consider, at least hear what he has to say. But then he has a talk with Hearst, and then he decides not to sell, and then basically Hearst gets him killed, and it's like, oh man, Charlie Utter, dude, those bastards did it.
Yeah.
They got him. And he hires those 2 scumbags that like you said, Bullock later shoots and feeds them to the pigs and all that. And
it's painful to watch Seth lose his friend, like, and it's a reflection back on that first season where Charlie loses his friend in Wild Bill, right? So Seth loses his friend with Charlie, and it's like it's painful to see that happen. And obviously, 10 years have passed, so Seth is a little bit more mellowed out in the movie. Up until that happens, and then it's the old Seth again. He's full of wrath and anger and righteousness again. Um, that's just a little something I wanted to add on there. Like it was painful to watch him lose his friend like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so Charlie Utter, and they have the funeral, and then like I feel like there was it's a shame because this movie is like less than like 2 hours, right? It's like an hour and like what 50 or 40 or something like that.
I feel like it goes
like an
by
hour.
so quick. It goes by so
like,
fast.
It's a shame because like you have 3 seasons of a show where you can flesh out some of these characters and side characters and all that. And like in the movie, some of these characters don't have much to do. Like I feel like Garrett, Mrs. Elper doesn't really have a whole lot to do. Dan doesn't really have a whole lot to do in the movie. You have. I feel like you just have like. I feel like when they were writing
some characters
movie,
show up to be like, "I'm still alive," Aunt Lou.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like like they wrote this movie as like, yo, who like they didn't write the movie for like the way they wanted to do it. What I mean by that is I kind of it feels like they were just like, who's gonna be in the movie, and then we'll write the script after we find out who's in it. They're like, oh, we'll give you something to do over here, we'll give you something to do here, but like they didn't have a whole lot to do, so it's because, and to be fair, less than 2 hours is not a whole lot to do much with, but I don't know, man. It kind of felt like some people were, like you said, were just there to be there. Like E.B. Farnham, shows up and like.
At least he actually does something. He has a moment.
You have Tom
that is like
show
redemption.
up and like
yeah.
But yeah, if you want to talk about E.B. Farnham's redemption, because I know he was a character you didn't really like in the show. So.
Yeah, I was like, well, at least he gets a moment. It's like because George Hurst is talking to the scumbags that have killed Charlie Utter, and like, but they have a witness, and they're trying to. Like, if that Bullock is found, which is the general. And he has him locked up in jail, and he's like trying to get them to go be like, I'll give you more money, go over there and kill him. And so EB is like eavesdropping, like he's got hidden walls that he can kind of eavesdrop on people down in the hotel. So he's eavesdropping on George Hurst. And the first thing, EB has a moment of redemption where he runs to Seth and tells him what's going on. And which gives Seth enough time to get over there and save the general from those assholes, which also brings us to Harry Manning, who in the original series seems like a really meek dude that wants to be a firefighter. Nah, in this movie, he's a corrupt deputy who works for George Hurst. And I'm like,
by the way,
fucking really? Feel like I left out of left field kind of thing.
Yeah, well, which by the way, fucking leads me to another moment. Jane's moment at the end.
Yes.
She shoots the traitor in the back.
I loved it.
It was such a great moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, "Oh, that's Wild Bill," and Joni's like, "No, that's all you." So that was really satisfying to see.
The reason that I like the comparison, though, that she says that is because the exact same thing that's happened to Wild Bill is fixing to happen to Seth, right? Harry's gonna run in and shoot him in the back, but Jane notices that there's something going on, and you even see her. She's got her pistol cocked and ready. She sees him going up the door, and she's right on his ass the moment he busts that door open. And blam, she blasts him first in the back. And I was like, fuck yes.
It was such a good moment. I love seeing that. I love seeing Jane, get her shine,
Yeah. Absolutely. It was an awesome moment. And then Harry going in, "You're my witness, Senator. He's trying to kill you." I was like, so stupid. I was just like, it was jarring to see Harry Manning go from, I want to be elected, but what I really want to be is like a firefighter in the town of Deadwood, right? And like, you get a fire wagon, and now, 10 years later, corrupt deputy, George Hurst, money kind of thing, you know? Like, it was a little weird. It was a little jarring, but I was like, it makes sense, I guess.
A lot can change in 10 years, you know, as we saw. So,
Mhm.
you know, it makes sense.
Yeah, it was just jarring, though, after seeing them for those 3
Yeah,
seasons.
I think, I think like for us, like because we watched all of it like so like close
Mhm.
together, you know, it was that's why it was a little jarring, you know.
There was nobody else they could have either had an unknown do it or somebody you knew, and there was like nobody else that would have fit, I don't think, that you could have thrown in there. So having it be Harry Manning is probably like the best bet that they could go with. Like,
yeah.
But yeah.
Yep. So I like that moment. It was cool seeing like Jewel back, you know, and like you said, Aunt Lou and some of the other, you know, characters that were around.
Some you only see for like a scene. Aunt Lou, I think you only see her for like the scene where Trixie's giving birth. I don't think you see her anywhere else. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's where I saw her. That was kind of like her big moment at the very least.
Yeah. Also, fucking, we got to see Mr. Wu and Little Wu, man, being a little translator and doing jobs for Al, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Sucker, wait, switching.
Wu trying to take care of Al a little bit.
Oh,
Al
yeah.
has
Drink
got
tea, you know.
liver,
Like, drink the tea. He's like fucking
liver
tea,
failure. Fucking tea. Yeah, because Al has murdered his liver after 10 more years of alcoholism. What else is there? Saul and Trixie get married in the movie.
They get married.
There's a wedding, and I actually kind of I enjoyed the wedding. Yeah,
it
was fun.
A lot of human emotions in this movie, man. You got the funeral of Charlie Utter, you got the wedding of Saul and Trixie, and the birth of the baby and everything. It's a lot going on, man.
You know what I end up feeling bad for is Mrs. Garrett, right? Like, or Mrs. Ellsworth. Like, she dances with Seth for a minute, and then like his kid comes running up, and like there's a heartbreaking moment.
Yeah, well, by the way, they have a moment early in the movie when after she arrives in town, right? When they're like, "Oh, go take her to the hotel or whatever," and it's like, man, yeah, I was like, man, they should have, you know, they should have ended up together. But anyway, yeah, it's like we know, I know we talked about that already, but you can kind of see, like, you know, Sophia looking at her in the back and everything, and yeah, just, you know, yeah, it is sad, but you know, she has Sophia, so
yeah.
Oh, and then also another thing we didn't mention was when Jane walks into town to find Joni again, and Joni's just laying with a couple of the other whores in the bed or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just like, man, Jane was just like, man, this is not what I thought or whatever, which, you know, which makes sense for Joni, right? Because it's like Jane just leaves to explore the world, as she said. You know, so you kind of have the thing of like, well, what else is she supposed to do, right? You know, Sai's no longer around, so she's kind of like, you know, taking over that, and like, yeah, like, you know, she's gonna go back to what she knows how to do, which, you know, again makes it better for the end of the movie where they actually, you know, finally, you know, end up together, and then, like, again, Jane has the moment, and then, you know, Joni is there for it and all that. So it was great.
Man, when Seth beats the shit out of that dude, like they're trying to hang the general, I was like, fucking old man Seth still got it. He's gonna kill this son of a bitch. And then he draws back and pops Saul in the face with his elbow. I was like, yeah, that's a callback to like, poor Saul gets punched in the face, keeps getting hit by Seth. Like, he's just trying to stop him from killing the stupid son of a bitch so he can get some proof on George Hurst. But yeah, I also incest like whoop. Feed that piece of shit to the pigs. I was like, God damn, that's fucking Jesus. I was like, Seth, you're the marshal. You're the marshal, Seth. It was a badass moment for sure.
Yeah.
And Seth he just murders the shit. He doesn't murder shit. I mean, he kills the shit
Dude,
out
yeah,
of that guy.
he popped these fuckers like nothing, dude.
It's like he grabs the kid and like Seth like or just shoots away. Like he doesn't care. Like he has a clear shot. I'm gonna take it. Fuck you. What do you think you gonna happen? You know, like oh my god. I don't know what else to say. I like the movie.
So ultimately, I think we should just describe our overall feelings on the show and the movie and just all of the culmination of all of Deadwood. So I
Okay.
think earlier you were asking if I like Deadwood. I
Mhm.
feel like if it would have just been the 3 seasons of the show, I probably wouldn't have liked it as much because that ending is really just the
Rough.
cancellation just does not help, man. Like it just
Mhm.
ends and it's like what? Like we got robbed of some more good stories, man. They should have kept it going, dude.
Exactly.
So we were robbed. So I guess if it wasn't for the movie, I probably wouldn't have liked it as much. But yeah, I don't know. I think because I think the movie, I don't think the movie's like I wouldn't say it's like a perfect ending to everything. Because again, we just there's no way of knowing what they would have done if they would have kept continuing it because we would have had more. We would have more of stuff that we just couldn't have now. Like we would have more of Psy. We would have had more of just continuing. Maybe Seth and Alma, do end up together. Like who knows, dude? Like things. It just things would have ultimately ended up differently than the way that they did, right? So who knows? But anyway, I think in the end, when you have the movie or the show and the movie, I do like it. But if we're just talking about the show, it's a little it's hard to be like, oh man, this was cool, but then like it just ends. Like
Yeah.
oh, there's no continuation. We're never gonna know what happens to some of the. Because I feel like even with the movie, there's still some unanswered questions, right? So yeah, I don't know. I like the movie. I like the show, but I'm very disappointed that they decided to cancel the show.
Yeah.
When they did because we really got robbed of some more good stuff. But anyway, I like Deadwood. It honestly, yeah, it did remind me of some Red Dead stuff. And honestly, dude, you know what it made me want to do? It made me want to play a fucking a Western RPG, dude. Like fucking, I want to play one now, man. Like if we ever get to do that, fucking, I'm signing up for it right now, Josh. So you better not run it without me, man. I want to play that shit.
All right. Well, hell yeah.
But yeah, I go for it, man. I
Well,
overall I enjoyed it. Deadwood was
my
good.
thoughts are the same as yours. Like I feel like kind of pretty much exactly the same, which is I like the show. If I hadn't had the movie to kind of wrap things up, I probably would have been like if honestly without the movie, I would have been like I wish I hadn't watched this because I would have felt there would have been an emptiness that kind of came like with Firefly in some ways too. With it but yeah, there's since I got the movie, we kind of got wrapped up. But when it was all over, when it's all over, if I had the thought, but what did we miss out on? You know, and I feel like if I'm having that thought, that fuck, just fuck. Like, what did we miss out on? It's so disappointing.
We missed out on a lot, man.
So yeah, those are my thoughts as well. I enjoyed it. I got enough out of it that I can like close the book on it. But what could have been will always haunt me a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, it's just a shame, dude. Because they should have kept it going, and for whatever reasons they canceled it. Which is sad because again, I'm sure people at the time were fucking very disappointed. me now watching, being able to watch it all from start to finish was disappointed too that they didn't continue it, because like it just ends like I can't accept, like if it wasn't for the movie I wouldn't have been able to accept the fact that that was the way they ended it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like without, like, not even talking about the movie, just the 3 seasons, I wouldn't have been able to accept that as like an ending. Like how did they not continue anything after that? Like at least another season, dude, just to like at least wrap up whatever, you know. But anyway, we got the movie, so what, you know. But it's just it is a shame we got robbed, man. We got robbed of what could have been, you know. But anyway, that's Deadwood, man.
That's
That is
Deadwood.
Deadwood.
That's gonna do it for the Deadwood talk, y'all. I think that's gonna do it for the show. Because we've had a nice, almost 3 hour long show. We hadn't had a 3 hour one in a long time, so we had news to talk about. We dove deep into Deadwood. I will recommend Deadwood to people. Check it out if you haven't ever seen it, but just be
It's
prepared
lot of,
for an ending,
not
I
colorful
guess.
language as well. Yeah.
Yes, if that kind of stuff bothers you, then there is some in there. A lot of there's a lot of slurs and there's a lot of just colorful language in general in the show.
So
but let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and say our goodbyes, Daniel. I'm gonna throw you up. I could throw you up on screen.
Let's do it.
You're
Let's
up
do
there,
it. Let's do it.
my
Let's
friend.
Do it. All right. I tip my hat to those of you who decided to join us and watch this episode or listen to it. Coming up for me, I'm gonna try to beat Batman Arkham Origins. I'm playing that currently. I'm gonna try to beat it before next week, because next week Mr. Josh 902 and I are gonna be co-oping Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, which I cannot fucking wait for. I'm so excited to play that. But yeah, playing Arkham Origins. If you're into Batman, if you want to see me whoop some ass in that, come join me. I'll be playing that again tomorrow and the next several days in preparation for Skywalker Saga next week. So try to finish that up. And then yeah, I'm gonna try. Oh, I'm Moon Knight tonight, first episode. Hope you guys are ready for that, because we're gonna be doing a show on Moon Knight eventually on the podcast, talking about that. So first episode drops tonight at midnight my time, which is Pacific, I believe, unless they decide to change the times. But anyway, should be midnight. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that. And we got a lot of cool stuff coming up here within the next several weeks. Like Josh, Sarah probably going to be doing a comics episode soon. We're going to read some comics and then talk about them on stream. And we're going to probably be doing another one of these watch a TV show, talk about it, you know, or older TV shows. Like I know Rome is one we're going to be doing. So stay tuned for that, because we're going to be watching Rome pretty soon as well. And then yeah, I think that'll do it. Next week's episode, first episode of May, we're going to talk about our dream game. So if you have an idea for a dream game that you've always had, start thinking about it and let us know what it is for next week, because that's what we're going to be doing. But anyway, I'm going to sign off now. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye, everyone.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for checking out the show. I hope you enjoyed our talk about Deadwood and hanging out with us for the news and my post being sick airheadedness. I had some of those moments during the show where I kind of rambled a bit. Apologies for those. Maybe you got some entertainment out of it. I said some stupid shit, I'm sure. Coming up for me, I bought Tiny Tina's. Maybe we'll stream that a little bit on stream. I've already kind of started it off stream, but I might hop on and run around and do some of that stuff. And then we'll kind of see where it goes. I hope to be playing more D&D. We'll see if the group gets together. You never know. Because that's kind of how I have that game set up. So people can just kind of like ping me West Marches type stuff. Other than that, I'll keep trying to check out some shows and some movies. I'll be checking out the Moon Knight and stuff like that. Upcoming. But we're gonna get out of here. thank you guys for so much for hanging out with us for a little while and getting our opinions on things. And we will just see you next time, I guess. Bye-bye.